Greetings and salutations, Dota fans, and we are back for some League of Lads Season 10 action. And making his League of Lads Season 10 debut, it is the one, the only, Mr. Former Simply 2-based manager, Mr. 5-Rat 4-staff analyst, Mr. Dota Buff community manager, Mr. Nouns social media manager, and officially beefing with the Radiant carry player. It's Logical Dota 2. How are you tonight?
I'm doing well. It's a very one-way beef. I told Foreplay I want to squash this beef multiple times, but
He has
insists on it.
insisted.
It is a very, like, this is as one-way as beefs go. I hold no animosity towards him.
But I assure you, the animosity goes back. He's told me on multiple occasions we're beefing with. So
He told me as well.
what can you do?
He has me blocked on Discord right now.
Really?
Yeah.
Welcome Foreplay, but it's okay. We're gonna be good to go. We have tonight some lads action with Sus taking on WeLostThis Radiant team. Some very familiar names to the League of Lads ecosystem. It is the Season 7 champions, more or less, with 4 players from that championship team: Malefic, Kobe, KU, and Keita, and they're adding a very good carry player who's played a number of last seasons in 4-play. So this is a very familiar team to have one here.
Yeah, I'd say they're definitely the favorites. Not having that much of a sample size, but just based off the players and their previous results from the one series that both the teams played earlier, I'd say they're definitely favorites. But I don't think. I mean, Dire definitely has a factor of being unknown, so you can't really be too sure what to expect, I think.
Yeah, the two of us were discussing this team very briefly before the cast. Obviously, I know you know at least 2 players in this team. They're a relatively unknown team. They actually ended up player swapping already after the season started, so they're I guess they might be a little bit unstable internally, but hopefully the new player addition might stabilize their internal team comms there.
Mm-hmm. I'm not sure if this is the player that was changed, but I recognize the Heroes of New Earth person on their team as well. I've ran into them solo queue back when I was high divine, very low immortal. I remember they play a lot of Pango, which sus insta-vans Pango. Yeah, he's level 30 on the hero as well.
You know, Radiant team has League of Legends, aka Kobe. Dire team has Heroes of New Earth. So there's a
that's true.
An extra layer going on here between Dota players tagged up as non-Dota names. Looking over at picks, though, it is a first pick IO. I know both Keita and Malefic can play it pretty well, so they have a lot of options in terms of where they're going to put this hero. But I'm interested to see how the new roles end up working. I know they have played at least one series, but as far as I know, they're playing 4-play carry, KU mid, Keita offlane, Malefic 4, and Kobe 5. So that'll be very interesting to see exactly how this team adapts to the new roles there.
Yeah, I think that they've all been playing a lot of their. They've all been playing their roles pretty much in unranked games. They like to stack a lot. I'm sure that they. I mean, honestly, like all 5 of the players, the Jork, Slud, and sometimes have played unranked a lot. These guys, I don't think they scrim or anything, but they seem to be practicing quite a bit.
I mean, they are unranked fiends, and they have been for the last year and a half, 2 years at least. Where if you play US West unranked at like 2 in the morning, you're probably getting beaten by more or less this stack. So
no one plays US unranked, match.
That's why you run into them. I think they queue both East and West. Obviously, if you play on East, you might run into good players. If you run into them on West, then you're in for a bad time.
Yes, this is a myth. It's a government experience. It doesn't exist actually.
Well, apparently, I'm the subject to the government testing them for the US West region. I'm part of the modern MK Ultra project with US West.
It's fake actually. I don't think anyone's ever found a game on USS. I haven't seen it with my own eyes.
I've been there. It's a bit hazy, you know. I think it might be a drug-induced experience, but I remember vividly. United States West. Back to the Heroes at hand, though. It is a 5-pick IO plus an 8-pick Razor into the Grimstroke Underlord. Seems like Both these teams have been paying a relatively good bit of attention to the modern meta. These are all very popular heroes right now. I'm curious to see if this Razor pick is going to be what it takes to shut the Underlord down this game.
Yeah, I like Radiant's draft already. I kind of assume that's going to be a lane because those heroes complement each other pretty nicely. Uh, Razor, I mean, they probably picked it in the 8. One, because foreplay likes the hero a lot, and also it lanes very well against what's probably going to be their off lane with the 2 heroes that they showed. Grimstroke's pretty decent against Wisp for the most part. It can be easy to link Wisp and the hero that he wants to tether. So like Grimstroke will likely be able to soulbind the Razor and the Wisp if that's what he wants in these fights. But I do kind of worry for Dire Draft already because I Radiance. I mean, like two heroes have been picked out of both teams, but Radiance heroes are fast both literally and in the sense of the game.
I guess once again, if you put down the Soulbind as you mentioned, maybe you could throw in like the Underlord pit. And I'm sure at some point they'll grab something to pair with the Soulbind, whether it's some good single target stun or some good single target slow, or even like I don't know, like Hex or something at some point. I'm sure at some point they'll be able to combo with the Soulbind. Maybe that'll be their idea. So not catch the Razor without his BKB, but I just alluded to it there. Razor is a big BKB enthusiast, and not only does he buy BKB as like his first 2 items, he also often buys a Refresher Orb in his first 2 or 3 items, which means you'll have BKB into more BKB, which is very hard for this Dire team to cope with so far. They have at least one means to do with BKB with this bench swap, but that will not be enough to necessarily lock down a BKB Razor in the team fights.
Yeah, Venge is pretty interesting. I kind of like this pick. It's not the most popular hero, and I don't think it's the best hero as a support, but I think it does have pretty good. It does have a pretty good matchup against both Wisp and Razor, in my opinion. Uh,
We expecting it
yeah,
to be a 5 here, or possibly like a 4 with Grimsword going 5. Where do you think this bench to go this game?
yeah. I think that's most likely what's going to happen. It's just going to be Venge support or Venge Grimstroke support duo. I think that you can pretty much put them wherever they want. I'm not super big on this hero as a 5 because I think it really shines when you can get Ags and you can start getting your higher level talents. Especially once you get the BKB piercing magic missile, which is a 25 talent, but alongside the shard, it's a, like I'd use the word broken to describe it. It's super good. And I mean, actually, I didn't really think of that, but it does pair nicely with the Grimstroke because you get to throw 4 magic missiles between the shard bounces, casting it on Soulbind.
Is there a magic missile pierces spell immunity talent at 25 or no?
Yeah, yeah.
So potentially, if this game goes to like 35, 40 minutes, then we could be in for some very disgusting bench combinations later in the game. But well, Radiant, of course, will not want the game to go that long. They already have the Io plus Razor, who, as you mentioned, play very fast tempo wise, and then they have Shaman, who is very good at taking objectives from ahead, very good at taking Roshan, very good at taking towers. So Radiance, I'm sure, will not want to let Dire get the items and levels they ideally want in the late game scenario.
Yeah, like Shaman for their draft a lot. It's like they're it's not really that amazing, I think, against Venge and
Hmm.
Grimstroke, but it definitely works really well. They do need lockdown from their other support because one of their heroes has Wisp, and Wisp doesn't have any lockdown, benefits a lot from having a hero that can catch because of the relocate. And Shaman slots in nicely. Dragonite as well is. I mean, the Radiant's draft is like extremely standard, or like not standard, but it's like extremely by the books. I feel like it's definitely very strong. DK can go mid or off lane. I say that because it's true, but DK is definitely going offline. I feel like there's no AKUs playing it.
You're probably right, but I just really like this draft from Sus. I think it's like a super good sort of skill check for a team. It's only like a really good team coordination wise can beat these players playing this draft concept with these level of meta strong heroes. You see throughout the patches, throughout the years, this sort of team will play these up tempo strats where you farm an exact set of items and you run it down lanes and you kill everything, and you kill all the towers, and the vast majority of Lad's teams, generally speaking, fail against this core of players. Where usually maybe like 2 or 3 teams in a given season can play against it. So for We Lost This is going to be a very good skill check right here, right now, because you're running into a very strong brick wall in this ex Portland Burnsiders core.
Mhm. Yeah, this PL pick kind of gives me hope, but I do still feel like they're kind of going to get run over. But I mean, if this PL can hit his timing, Radiant Heroes are pretty exceptionally bad against PL.
I'm a bit concerned
So
that PL will need a lot to hit his timing, but as you mentioned, if he
yeah,
hits
yeah,
it,
they're definitely at risk of getting run over just in the early game. I mean, in Suss's last series, they won 6 out of 6 lanes, so they are no slouch when it comes to the early game.
that is winning lanes on demand right there. But if the major tells us anything, the team we thought would win lanes on demand might not win the Dota games. So perhaps this PL can perhaps hit like a Yasha Diffusal Heart plus Shard timing, get online, and then truly be a menace for this Radiant team to deal with. But Radiant know exactly how to play against it. They will, of course, play up tempo, choke the map out, focus on the PL. In worst case scenario, they'll attempt to itemize into this PL, which means what? Like Dragon Knight Shard plus Razor something, and then hopefully just kill the illusions, but that seems pretty hard to do.
I think Razor should buy a Mjolnir or like a Maelstrom. This is something that Envy was doing a lot, and I liked it. It was like kind of picking up steam, but I don't think it ever really went mainstream. But Tread's Maelstrom BKB on Razor, I think, is really good this game because there's a PL, and in general, it's just really it just feels really nice for the hero. It helps you farm a lot. Thematically, it fits your hero, and also with the Wisp on your team, getting the extra attack speed and the extra spell imp is just a great addition. Maelstrom.
The way you mentioned thematically makes me think this is not only a build from the school of Jackie Mao, but it's also a build from the school of Sir Action Slacks. So I'm excited for it if it happens, but I think it's well, how likely do you think he goes for the more crazy build rather than the more meta standard BKB pressure build?
I think I mean, I think it's a lot better here, to be honest. But I don't really, I haven't spoken to Foreplay in a long time, so I don't know where his headspace is like.
For now, though, you actually end up being you were very confident with the DK3. Unless it's tied mid or Razor mid, we'll be seeing a DK mid this game. So we see KU complaining about how boring the carry heroes are, possibly slotting into a mid Dragon Knight. Very, very exciting hero. He has a stun, logical. He's gonna be ready to go.
I'm not a super big fan of this 100 pick, but I don't think it's terrible. And I definitely don't think it's draft ruining or game ruining or anything like that. But I will say, I think they could have picked a different hero because I don't think it's necessary. I can kind of understand the idea because you want one hero that can kind of just like sit in a spot and not be able to get moved because all these heroes kind of like running around a lot. Like you got Razor who's going to be playing with the Wisp, and then DK and Shaman are going to be really mobile and they're just going to be looking to try to catch heroes across the map. And so you want one hero that can actually like hold a location. So if the lanes go really well for Radiant, then the Tidehunter could kind of just like post up in front of the mid tower, and it'll be really difficult for them to for Dire to do anything to the mid tower. But I mean, still, I think they could have used the DK flex better with a different pick that could be 2 or 3. And I think that Tidehunter and DK are pretty similar. Yeah, so like this Viper pick is really good.
That's definitely the right pick, but that is. I was hoping for something more interesting than Viper. It's definitely. I mean, it's in the Dragon Knight and Tide, two very good passives to break, but on the flip side, it is Viper.
Yeah, and Viper, I think like a super underrated part of this hero is the ult goes through BKB, and the fact that you can like slow heroes significantly through BKB is a really big deal. So it's also really good against Razor because Razor is just gonna be tethered BKB press ult press link run in there. Getting Viper ulted during that duration is like a pretty solid way of stopping the hero to a certain degree. I mean, it doesn't matchup isn't terrible. Uh, some people might even say that Razor is good against Viper, but I think that individual interaction is pretty good at stopping Razor.
That's I mean that's the classic wisdom back when you saw Razor and Viper mid, but it'll be Razor carry on this fine evening. I like this Dire draft a lot actually, but I still think Radiant's going to win this game. What are your thoughts?
I like Radiant's draft more, and I think they're gonna win the game. I don't really believe in their first 3 heroes, and I think it's 4 Revenge, which is like interesting, but I don't really believe in this hero in a support role. And they also kind of like really lack hard lockdown. So I mean, they have 1.5 cancels for BKB TPing out, but in general, like once Razor gets BKB, once DK gets BKB, they can kind of just do whatever. Because like, how are you going to lock down any of these heroes? You're gonna have to kill them during their BKB duration, pretty much. You like run at them, and then they see you running at them, and they press BKB and walk away, and then like maybe you can get a swap off, but still, like even if you swap a BKB to Razor, the Razor's just gonna walk away still. Heroes like near haste move speed with max passive, and yeah, and it's just during BKB duration. Your draft isn't the most high damage as well. I mean, especially the BKB heroes, it's pretty much just PL right clicks without diffusal blade that are hitting a hero with their BKB. I don't like Dire's draft that much, but I think their last two picks were good for the game.
Consider the following: soft CC. You know, hard CC, hard cock control, stuns and stuff, very good. But if you're an enthusiast of soft CC, Dire have a lot of that between Grimstroke's everything, PL Lance and Diffusal Blade later on, Viper's everything, Underlord Pit. There's a ton of soft CC right here, so I still think they're just going to win because they're just until proven otherwise. I assume they're going to win every game they play. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see what happens. My name is Badger. I'm joined by the one only Logical, and if you are just joining us, welcome to game number 1 of Sus versus WeLostThis. Sus are coming in off a win previously in the season. WeLostThis are not coming in off one, so they need to begin to put it into drive. And it will begin nice and early at the river, it appears, but Dr. Epic might just be in danger. And he will back off.
Yeah, I don't. There's no real reason to go for the rune. They're just gonna trade 2 for 2. Pretty normal. Malphite did take a lot of damage, actually. That's pretty nice for Dire. But he did take Firestorm at level 1. This is like virtually never seen anymore. I think of all the Underlord games in the Major, they pretty much all take Atrophy Aura level 1.
This is very good for early lane. I mean, the damage differential is just obnoxious, one might say. Very powerful.
Yeah, definitely. The way that I saw Saberlight playing this hero was he would skill Atrophy Aura at level 1, and then he would just A-click the creep wave so that he could build bonus damage, and he would push the wave in, because you're also minus damaging the enemy creeps, the enemy hero, so they can't really push the lane back into you, and I think it's probably the best way to play Underlord lanes right now. But I mean, they're doing pretty well right now. Foreplay took Static Link level 1, which is also kind of rare, and he went aggressive with the Static Link level 1 and took Firestorm plus Magic Missile. Unfortunately,
a lot of action in the bottom lane. You mentioned, yeah. You seen before that? Sorry, I cut you off there.
no. I mean, Radiant, unfortunately, like they did get good damage. They did like 75% of Foreplay's health, but it doesn't really matter unless you actually kill him, because under tower with tower regen on the Wisp and the Razor and Tether, Foreplay's already full health.
It's convenient. You said what I was going to say. Problem solved. All is well in that sense. And over the top lane, we're seeing a bit of brawling as well between Kobe and Dr. Epic, but full support should be fine. For those who are wondering, we will be calling League of Legends Kobe this series because it's a lot easier to say. Speaking of Kobe, he'll be stunned by Inkswell, though Tide and PL are on the way. Super Fate hits on only the Shaman. Full supports are low. Fairy Fire Pop Shackles in first will be drawn by Keita. Now it's soundproof. He's forced to doppel and walk away, but as that happens, bottom lane... Never mind, no kill attempt. Link is already over.
Yeah, that was just kind of... I think Epic kind of tricked himself into thinking that was good because he wanted it to be good, but you really have to wait in this lane because your heroes are not very powerful at killing. I think your only slight window would probably be with level 2 Inkswell, because it increases the damage so much. And it just makes the skill generally so much better. But trying to go on the Shaman, like, that's really hard. I mean, this hero has a stupid amount of base health. And 4 armor as well, and it heals itself. It's just really hard. It's, like, deceptively hard to go on.
We have not discussed the mid lane at all, but I guess it makes sense. It is a Dragon Knight versus Viper lane. KU is winning on CS fairly hard right now, though. He is 13-4 versus Viper's 7-2.
There is a pretty big MR discrepancy in the mid lane, I'll say. But also I think that Tano's kind of taking the wrong approach. Like, you think because Viper is a DK counter that you should just try to, like, pressure him as hard as possible and try to like really crush him in the laning stage, but it's not really possible against DK. The real counter of this matchup comes from the fact that Nether Toxin breaks Dragon's Blood, but you can't really abuse that during the laning phase. So I think it's important for Viper in this matchup to just try to maximize your farm as much as possible and kill every single small camp with Nether Toxin, because you can do that starting from literally the 1 minute small camp, just because the spell does so much damage.
Top lane, Dr. Epic goes down again. Another kill for Keita and Kobe in the lane. And so far, Viper has been hitting this small camp, but like bottom lane, the kill on Underlord. Bit of a shock on that one. I did not expect it to happen. Unfortunately, diving. Is that one more kill? Perhaps 6 are popped by Venge. Will survive, but so far in the lanes, it's a very fantastic start for the side of Sus.
Yeah, this top lane is going to get really depressing soon, I think. The PL actually is pretty high level, which is nice. He's sitting at level 4, which is pretty good. Same level as, even higher XP than the Tidehunter, actually. But this Tidehunter is going to be quite unkillable soon. He doesn't have a Ring of Regen or anything, so he's not like super tanking up, but he does have phase boots coming out eventually, and I don't think that Dire can really do anything unless a Viper rotation happens, but Viper is not the most mobile hero, so it's not super easy for that hero to rotate to the top lane unless they're like really pressing under tower, or unless the Viper gets some kind of rune to make it easy.
For now, I guess Viper is just farming. We're seeing a bit of action again in the side lanes during all that. The Venge went down bottom lane, and Venge is playing very active. After respawning TP mid, now is perhaps wrapping around on Dragon Knight. DK is level 5, has 2 points in that passive, and well, despite the Venge being smoked, this is a very hard play to make. He's still lurking, but instead, okay, Dragon's Tail is actually on the Viper instead. Cave's going in. Tano will turn down the low ground. DK hits, and DK will get the kill in the 1v2. KU is completely out of control right now. He might just kill the Venge as well. Maybe not, but that is disastrous for the Dire team right there.
That was a pretty cool play of Avenge, actually. They just botched the timing, which made it look really bad. Viper was, as the Venge TP did, the Viper was like really close to being level 6, but wasn't quite level 6 yet, needed the last creep wave. And then he started trading aggressively with the Dragon Knight. DK hit 6 before the Viper did, because of his advantage on that just was going on during the lane. I think DK dies if both of them are 6 at the same time. And you can stun the DK inside the Nether Toxin, and then you can probably get 5 stacks of poison attack during that duration, but it's just like, the timings are all just a little bit off. Additionally, right before that happened, Viper was a little bit low HP because the Venge TP too far back into tower range, because Venge didn't want to get spotted by a potential ward, and because of that, Tano wasn't in range for getting his bottle refilled. He couldn't make it to the Venge in time, and so that also contributed to the fact that he was low enough HP where KU could kind of just right-click him down.
That's definitely a bit unfortunate. It's little plays, but the little plays matter a lot in games like this where you don't want to give this Radiant team any kind of momentum. I mean, Dragon Knight, Razor, Shaman, they'll be running at you relatively soon, and if you're not there to stop them, the towers are going to crumble. And already top lane, this top T1 tower, it's full HP pretty much, but I'm still already worrying for its life.
Viper can TP here. They have to be a little bit careful for a Viper rotation. Aside from that, though, they have won the lane already. Like, the lane's over pretty much. Yeah, this guy, he's just gonna M-click the PL and then press. Okay. I mean, Venge TPing, but I'm not super...
Phantom's Brace and a Magic Missile, but... And it also is a Tide. So good attempt, but alas, it did not work.
It's not terrible just getting his HP low, because now he can't do that thing. Like, he can't make that play again, even if the Venge doesn't TP, just because these two heroes can actually kill him now, because he's 500 health. So he can die to Inkswell plus PL running at him. But, I mean, I don't think it's a big deal. Oh.
Inkswell will stun the Shaman and the Tide. They move to Tide Missile into right clicks. Stick pop by Tide, but Tide will drop the damage from Dr. Epic. Kobe TPs away in time, but at least one kill is on the board for the Dire time. We're at the bottom.
PTA just kind of walks into far there. I can't hear you, Badger.
You can?
No, okay, I can now. I couldn't hear you during that engagement.
I was hoping I was talking the entire time. I was talking in real life. We're seeing mid lane, stun on Viper. It will be a trade of mid laners, it appears. Both KU and Tano dropping. Tano getting the XP.
You gotta tip him back. Gotta tip him back, Tano. He died first.
No tip back quite yet, though. We saw
Critical error.
you are mentioning, of course, the tip about 4 minutes ago now, but back to bottom again. It's 4-player running at I Lost This. Underlord has TP on cooldown, but the damage is still a little bit short. I think I figured out. I think my push to talk key didn't activate there.
I see, okay. Unfortunate, but that fight was Radiant. That was just them being a little bit like ambitious. It's kind of the same thing. It's like same thing as what happened level 1 where Epic died, where you just like you want the play to work and like maybe they fuck up and it works, but they didn't mess up and you're just being too hopeful. Like, I wish I had a better way of describing that, but like that's a play that they probably know in their heads isn't gonna work, but they just do it anyways and hope that it works. Hope that the other team messes up, which is a really bad practice.
Bottom lane, Dire will make a play work. They had both supports rotate with Underlord on Io. Io went down, but it will be in exchange for that top T1 tower, which means potentially Radiant can hit the middle T1 tower with that mid 10 siege units.
Radiant is making a decent amount of, a surprising amount of mistakes from what compared to what I was expecting, but I do still think they're in a commanding position in this game. KU is buying Midas also though. It's, learn from Aaron.
Apparently, that will be the build. Hopefully he goes for a blink after that, but we may be in for Midas into Ags, perhaps. You never know.
Also, 4-play is just going Treads BKB, which I already spoke about it a little bit, but if they have a couple fights that go badly, which I don't predict will happen, but if it does happen, then oh, they're stacking stuns here.
Yeah, it was a bit of a stack stun in the Dire side jungle. Ravage comes in onto both Venge and PL. PL will stick Hastopple in 19. He's running away with that Phantom Rush to the creep camp. He gets away there. Now it's KU going down, and Dragon Knight, Dire have arrived, but so have Io and Razor. They head for Underlord. Swap is in. Venge low. Shaman low. Shaman will drop. They move to Venge and the Radiant team, but Radiant collapsing. Pit is in on 3. 4-play is looking to fight, bringing down Tano, but it's Io instead. He cannot leave. There is no longer relocate back. Now it's Keita in 4-play. Incredibly low. Inkswell stunned. Down goes Keita. They move to 4-play. 4-play will dodge. He struck everything by walking away, but Radiance have no backup for him. However, he is a Razor, he is fast enough, he will get away, but the result is fantastic for the side of WeLostThis.
Yeah, I'm surprised that Razor didn't die, actually. I think the Underlord definitely could have gotten in range of the Razor if he phase booted when he was chasing 4-play. But I mean, even still, yeah, it's a 4-for-1. Radiant just got overzealous again. I actually, to be honest, all that was kind of just off the fact that they stacked the Dragon Tail with the Shackle on the PL. And then they end up reaching a little bit too far to try to kill him. Nice counter rotation by Dire, though the heroes are pretty annoying to fight into before these Radiant heroes have their BKB timings. Like Razor really needs the BKB to fight into Link and Poison Attack, honestly. And then the Dragonite as well can just like very easily die to Viper. We talked about it being a counter, but until he has a BKB, he will just get owned by Viper if he's forced to stay inside Nether if the Dragonite's forced to stay in Nether Toxin, either by virtue of roots or just a Venge stun.
It seems like Radiant are dissuaded from fighting Roshan, though instead dissuaded from fighting Dire, though instead fight Roshan. We're messing up words today, but it's okay. Aegis will go to 4-play, and that will mean for the next 5 minutes, Radiant are ready to fight once again. And other than Ravage and the wards, everything is ready to go. Ravage is up in 20, and the wards are up in 90.
Alright, I mean, this is a good play by Radiant. I think this is a decent way of stabilizing the game. It's pretty unlikely that Dire is going to expect that and try to play it and try to prevent that. Okay.
We're farming. That's what we're doing right now.
Radiant has more
we're
of the
farming.
map right now. Radiant is winning. Like Dire took that good fight, and I think that they probably could have seized more of the seized more initiative off that engagement. But if you look at the map right now, I think it's very easy to see how this map is split up. It's and Radiant has a good like they don't have 75% of the map, but they have like 71% of the map. You know, it's like very close to being 75% of the map. It's like only Dire only has slightly more than 25.
I mean, they have a pretty control on the dire side jungle to an
I
extent. Bottom
drawn the
lane,
map?
a
No, I
swap
can't.
on Kate. This is a hard kill to get. The Ravage is up. Inkswell will stun. Common Chuckles are there on Lord Soulbind, and Missile are there on Io and Graves. The Ravage will be there on 4 heroes now. It's Radiance turning, bringing down Underlord. Dire with Viper and Pia will look to fight. Relocate has ended. So they run a Keita, Missile into right clicks. Is it enough? No, Keita will stick. And now Keita is in the trees. Doppel is in. Once again, Tide is broken, but he's juking. Again, Inkswell, will it stun? Yes, it will, and Keita will drop. So it ends up being a 1-for-1 trade. Offlaner for offlaner, and now Dire will attempt to get their first tower of the game, but it's still very high in HP.
Yeah, I mean, Radiant taking a couple bad fights there. Razor was probably like 400 gold away from BKB at the start of that fight, but they tried to force it anyways because they have Aegis. Sus is definitely giving Dire team some opportunities. Yeah, they're gonna get this tower, which is going to free them from the shackles of the 26% of the map. Now they have a lot more of this bottom area. I wish I could draw on the map, but it's like now they have access to like this whole area, which was previously Radiance.
Yeah, before PL, he was playing there a bit, but now it's a lot more safe. There's no tier 1 tower to just hop on over to and just ruin the day of the PL. I feel like Radiant's still a bit more map control, but it's definitely a lot better now.
In theory, it's even, I think, but like in practice, it depends how much you're actually farming. KU also looks dead.
Yeah, I mean, he's being gone on by all 5 Dire team members. Good swap play there by Mr. Steal Your Spells, bringing down the middle Dragon Knights. Question is, can Dire get that middle T1 tower? They have a siege unit, so I'm guessing probably. Tide looks to defend, but he has no Ravage. Wards can be dropped by Shaman, but with the Viper Shard and the siege unit, it's going to be a free T1 tower mid. What did Viper buy Shard, actually? That's a very early Shard.
Yeah, he did. He had a Q at minute 15, I saw. The Shard is very good. I don't think it's this good. I also think he needs a BKB, but I like it. I mean, it's aggressive. It does a lot of damage. And I think I did talk about at the start of the game how their draft does lack damage. Also kills buildings very quickly. Their lineup does not kill buildings the fastest.
Play is scout at top lane by the Venge who's invis. I'm not sure if Dire are going to gank this, though. They're not going for it at all.
He has BKB now, and he still has a minute left on Aegis. He definitely can't die, especially with a Wisp on top of him. Dire has more of the map right now, though, I'd say. Radiant are honestly making a lot more mistakes than I expected them to. I guess I already said that, but... Okay, 4Play's got the Maelstrom Cube now. I would have liked the other order more, I think. But this works as well. I can get behind this.
You mentioned it, and also the PL is the hero of mind right now, where it's, hey, we need to deal with the PL, and as you mentioned, if he goes to Miona, that will be one answer to at least slowing a hero down.
If you just go BKB refresher, then you don't really do a whole lot to the PL, and you will farm like nearly as fast as the PL. At least this way, if you're BKB refresher, the map literally needs to be like 90-10 your favor to outfarm the PL or something absurd like that. Maybe not literally that much, maybe like 80-20. You need a significant amount of the map to outfarm PL. But with this Maelstrom, it does not need to be that significant. You can outfarm the PL with a lot less, just because you hit creeps so much. Like Razor's actually really bad at hitting creeps. I think the way that this hero makes a lot of money is by killing heroes and by just taking over the map to make the enemies look poor.
seeing one problem for the Dire. We mentioned it both in the draft and pre-horn. It's this lack of like great hard stun or even like a blink stunner in general. We saw a smoke play in the Dire side jungle. The Razor and I were isolated, and Dire knew that, but then they had no way of actually getting on top of him because the Venge wasn't there, and Venge swap is their only way to start a fight at this point.
Yeah,
I guess
I
other than
think
just run at the opponent, but you can't necessarily run at a Razor.
it definitely would have been more of an issue if they didn't get those like 2 or 3 early fight wins that they probably shouldn't have. Because now they're doing like now the onus isn't super on them to fight, but they're gonna get owned in this fight, I think.
More playable BKB, he's in, he's soulbound, but not linked to anyone, now linked to his IO, but Viper is collapsing. Is there enough damage? Yes, there is. Dire will scatter, the remainder of the team gets away, except for Soundproof. Soundproof is still there. He's now hexed by Kobe. He'll be shackled, and he will eventually die, barring a miracle. It's a 5v1. He's very low, he'll doppel, dodging some damage. He TPs away now. Is it a... No, it's not in time. Good attempt by Soundproof, but the result is the same as Dire losing their middle laner and their safe laner in exchange for absolutely nothing. And now Sus, they have turned what was a very small lead into a 4K lead.
Yeah, that fight was. I mean, they just have the BKB timing now, right? So if they run it Dire, then the fights will be pretty easy. Actually, getting on top of the Viper as well is really important. That's why I think he needs a BKB, is because Foreplay didn't have Eye of the Storm up for that fight, but it didn't actually matter because the Viper didn't have any defensive resources really to save himself.
Pop in on KU under the tower. Can I heal him in time? No, he cannot. Down goes KU. Ravages in. He'll be there only on 2. Venge and Underlord. It's time to run. Your DK is dead, and your IO and Shaman are just scattering. It's over. The fight. That's not good for Radiant, actually. That's really bad.
Yeah, I mean that's part of the problem with not having the blink. Is you're just less mobile than you should be. DK is pretty immobile actually, and a very easy hero to kill. The pause threw me off, but DK is a pretty easy hero to kill for Dire, just because they have pretty solid heroes at killing the DK. Actually, it's just Viper. It's pretty much just Viper. Underlord's decent as well, but Viper can kill DK very easily. And so, if you're out of position on DK, which it's a lot easier to be without the blink, then a swap will pretty much mean death, unless Malphite is like super on top of things with relocate. But I don't even think that was on him. I don't even think there was an opportunity for him to save KU because he was already a little bit low health, and then he got swapped under tower. Even on top of that.
I have figured out why we are at such a lack of words today. Seeing this Radiant team play in this kind of form is just completely messing with our minds right now. Because usually this team is very clean. They've made, what, like 4 or 5, unforced errors at this point.
Yeah, these guys
it's
suck.
throwing us off guard. It's throwing us off guard, logical.
Yeah, suck. I wasn't expecting this.
You're saying it a lot more. You're saying it more directly than I am, I guess, but... making very surprising unforced errors. Data suck.
Kidding, yeah.
Okay, you're just kidding. Okay. We will be back though. We're seeing G's in the chat. We're resuming from our pause.
I have a 0% win rate against KU in League of Legends matches. I think. Actually, I'm pretty confident in that stat.
I think I do too, so don't feel bad about it.
I think I might have a positive win rate in officials, because I think Otter's farm bird said a lot. But in lads matches, I definitely have never beaten him. That guy's a beast. If I was to make a lads team, probably still wouldn't be able to beat him.
It's maybe if you had some like sick team with you, but for now, it's going to take a little bit of admin rigging to get you in the league. Sadly, we're back to farming though. We are back for some good old farming. We're seeing Razor #1 net worth right now, 11k net worth, and he's not really that close to any other hero. I mean, DK 9k, PL 9k, Viper 9k. The PL is a solid half item behind Razor right now, but he's getting his key items. He has Diffusal, and he has finished a Manta as well in the PL now.
Yeah, he's not as farmed as you'd like to be on PL, but he's not, like, his game is not awful by any means. 21-minute Diffusal Manta is definitely poor, I'd say, but it's definitely very serviceable in this game where you have pretty solid core matchups overall. Yeah.
Both teams have smokes if they want to force some kind of smoke play. Both teams are loosely grouped, but seems like nobody's in a rush to go anywhere. But you know what is back in the cards? It is the second Roshan of the game. Radiant got the first one very early on at minute 12, I believe, and well, it's back. It is back. I'm not sure if either team knows it's back yet, but what both teams know is perhaps a fight might break out top lane. Venge and Tide are both set up, but it seems like Underlord will back off with his Venge rather than potentially fight into the Tide and Shaman.
Underlord with his BKB now. I mean, honestly, this game is hard for Dire solely off the fact that Radiant has like probably like two of the best hard CC here. I mean, I don't know why I'm saying that like that. I don't know what CC means, but they have like two of like the best blink stun heroes for just like catching heroes, or I mean, just like two of the best blink stun heroes in general. DK and Shaman just make the game so much easier to play.
Link X top lane on Underlord. The wards are dropped. In comes Ravage there, and actually nobody was BKB'd by the Underlord. Kobe is dead, and now it's a Link. Soulbind, they're on Razor and Io. Underlord will die during his TP, and 4-play runs forward. Venge stuns the Io. And now Io actually relocates Razor back because of the stun. However, seems like the fight still is over. Venge has no spells left, and the remainder of Dire are a good bit away, so assuming the results stand as they currently are, it will be a 1-for-1 trade. Shaman and some abilities such as Ravage and Serpent Wards in exchange for the Underlord.
Probably good for Radiant still. Okay, 4-play finish Milner. Yeah, I like this. I think his like timings are very easy to play on. You can kind of know when you're strong in this hero with this kind of a build. Like right now, he's really strong with the Mjolnir BKB and the Wisp behind him, and then gonna be very easy for him to farm the entire game. And it's even harder for the PL to try to, like the PL previously it was already like kind of hard for him to just like go on the Razor, but now it's even harder to go on the Razor. He has to
like,
poke
he used damage down a man. He's just dead. Move to Keita. Once again, there's no stuns up. Underlord buys back. They want the fight in the Dire side jungle. Doppel activated. 4-play is low. There's no relocate left. And down goes 4-play. They move to Malefic. Malefic's dead as well. Radiance, they've actually collapsed. Now Dire are diving for Keita. They see him. I don't think they're going to kill the Tide, but that is a big team fight win for the side of WeLostThis.
Yeah, that was pretty uncharacteristic mistake. I mean, K is definitely having a rough one. He just gets caught again. Bought the shard as well. I don't know if we talked about this, but it went Midas shard BKB. And no, I don't even know if he's gonna get a blink after. But 4-play anyways, he was having a really good game. 0 deaths. He runs in, even though his BKB is on cooldown, because he's trying to save KU. But you just kind of gotta let him die at that point. And because he didn't, ends up falling himself.
Speaking of shards, key shard we saw in that fight was the Venge shard. We saw the double whistle there at the end by the stairs, and that was very clutch in terms of locking down these Radiant heroes. We bemoaned the lack of CC on Dire. Well, they've doubled their stuns with one easy shard.
There's one triple, double your stuns.
Well, looking at key items, I mean, Radiant also have 2 blinks now. They have one on Shaman, and they also have one on Tide.
I think Swap is in general pretty good against Wisp, but the Vent Shard is like really good. I didn't even think about it there, but just like being able to cast it on the Razor and then it stuns the Wisp alongside is like a really big deal. It's super annoying for the Wisp to play into, I think. Yeah, Dire has that net worth lead. I hope I'm not late on that. Yeah. Only recently.
This is, I mean, for most of the game, it's been Radiance in the net. Correction, for literally all of the game, it's been Radiant in the net worth lead. And well, for the first time, it went to the Dire, though it was temporary, as Radiant have claimed the second Roshan of the game, the Aegis and the Shard. The Shard, I believe, went to Razor. So that is now a Razor Shard for free for 4-play. Which once again puts him ahead of the PL. The PL actually caught up the Razor in net worth, but one easy 4 gold infusion, now it is Razor on top again.
The Razor Shard is very bad. Actually, I think it's in contention for me, one of the worst shards in the game. But it's very good against PL, or not very good against PL. Like Razor probably isn't a PL counter or anything like that because of the shard. But it's there are like a couple of situations where it's good, and PL is definitely one of them. I think Windrunner as well is also one where that's it's pretty decent against.
I'm at the point now where I think PL's not even want to hit the razor. It's like, all right, you have Mjolnir and you
Oh
have the
yeah,
shards. Don't even hit the razor. Say screw it. Ignore the
yeah,
PL or just ignore him on the PL. Hit the four other heroes, and if Razor's there, just ignore the razor, I guess.
yeah. I mean, the big like the most important realization that I think people make it, or the people that you can make on PL is that you don't need to just like go in. Like you don't need to just like run in with all your illusions all the time. This hero, especially with the addition of the shard, however long ago that was, probably like 2 years at this point. This hero, the way that you play this hero in fights is you just spam Spirit Lance and Doppelganger, and you just throw your illusions on heroes that you're trying to mana burn. Like Radiant did a pretty nice job of itemizing Soul Ring on both of their strength cores, because normally PO is like pretty solid against these heroes because you can just burn their mana. But against this Razor especially, he can just spam Spirit Lance and Doppelganger and then throw the illusions on the Razor. And even though they changed how Diffusal works and the mana burn isn't very good in melee illusions anymore, it's still it's still very annoying for the Razor because this hero will struggle with mana issues. This Pupil's Gift is actually really useful, but the Wisp doesn't have Wisp doesn't have a Soul Ring, so he can't immediately give the Razor mana. And the Razor has Bassi, which works well with Wisp, but even still in these team fights, it doesn't regen you quick enough to deal with the Razor mana burn. You might think that Razor getting their mana burned isn't that big of a deal, but it can be very annoying not being able to cast your spells on this hero. And you do kind of
Obi
need a lot
carries
of
the fight right there, breaks everything. Mass Ravage there on both supports. Both of them are dead immediately. Soulbinds on Razor and Isle, but what a fantastic set of plays from Kobe. The blink away from the smoke and into a Tumbler's Toy reinitiation. That's brilliant stuff right there.
well played. I mean, you can say that what Radiant were waiting for their timing. The blink on the DK, 28-minute blink. Now they're ready to go.
That's 3 blinks on Dragon Knight, Tide, and Shaman. They are ready to be blinking and slamming. The 2 heroes without them, of course, are the 2 heroes in the relocate pairing, so Radiant have a very easy way of just getting places at this point.
I would not be surprised to see Razor buy one eventually. It's probably farther down the line. Like you probably want Refresher, and then you probably want an armor item, and then you might even want like a butterfly after that. Would be pretty good. But like an Agi Blink, I think is super good on this hero, especially when you have a Ravage. I was gonna say a big AOE stun, but Ravage especially. When your Tide just blink Ravages, it feels so nice to just blink and press your 2 ults and your BKB and just link a hero with a blink. It's super easy. You just melt the backline.
By the way, you mentioned it earlier, if you're wondering what CC is, it's crowd control, of which Ravage is very good.
It's like stunned, right? It's like stunned.
Just stuns, slows, roots, anything really is crowd control.
Okay, yeah, that's like Omega Boomer lingo.
Listen, Zoomer. We are seeing Dire Smoke up as 4, though, into the Radiant side jungle. For now, they've missed on their smoke. Looking at their vision, they see very little.
Spider Legs and Razors is honestly kind of a big deal. This is really good. Just not. Doesn't seem like anything's gonna happen. So, okay. Oh, he's portaling to what? I don't. Okay.
He portaled to get his teammates to top
That's
lane.
pretty. That's a cool idea, actually. I can kind of get behind that. Because he's like he's gonna cut the wave on PL with illusions here, and then they go portal top, so they don't want to have to deal with bottom lane. They won't have bottom lane issues when they're all grouped here in top lane. The idea is cool, but I don't really think it super works here. I don't think it's gonna be that big of a problem for Radiant. Oh, what was I gonna say before that? Oh yeah, the stun hierarchy. I can't remember who it was that told me about this theory, but like, crowd control is dead. There's no way that's a real thing either. But the stun hierarchy, I think this is a very real concept, and it's like different stuns are in different tiers. So like the top tier is like Burrow Strike, Dragon Knight, Shadow Shaman. These heroes that can just like blink like unreactably and Hexa Hero, or not Hexa Hero, but Blink and Stun Hero immediately are just like, if you have them and your opponents don't, the game is very hard for them to play. And then like right under that, you have stuff like Axe Call and Centaur Stomp, and I'm trying to think of other spells like that.
Lord, maybe?
Yeah. I mean, Roar's kind of in the same tier, but for different reasons. Spear, like these heroes, they are. I mean, they're very good, and if you have them and your opponent doesn't have those or the tier above, then the game will still be hard, but it's not as crazy. And so I think that Dire is outplaying Radiant, honestly, but the game is still a little bit awkward for them to play, just because they are at the stun tier list disadvantage.
Well, Try can't fight. It's PL in the middle. He's hexed by Shaman and comes out, which is there on 3 heroes. 4 heroes, actually. Dr. Epic down. PL is swapping into the remainder of the Radiant, so it's soundproof on the sidelines. Mr. Steal Your Spells with a 2-man missile into a 3rd trip for the Dire to the grave. 2 kills for KU, 3 kills for the Radiant team, and well, you were mentioning how Dire were playing well, but now they have made a key error, and Radiant will have a massive stranglehold in the map from that.
I have to rewatch your stream to see what happened. He got full duration shackles on the PL. He got full duration hex shackle on the PL. That was a crazy good play by Kobe. But I have no idea how he did that.
Again, another huge play from Kobe from downtown. I lost this. Perhaps we'll have the BKB and run away, but he's just going to die. And so will the Viper. Radiant focus the Viper. Underlord TP's away. Can he get away in time? Yes, he can. So Underlord will be spared, but it's in exchange for the Viper. An even worse death to the Dire team, and he's dead for 60 seconds.
Yeah, that is quite rough. I don't think that Radiant... No, Radiant can probably go high ground. He's got AC finish on DK off that fight. He's got Elder Dragon form as well. They can't just like farm the entirety of the map. But I'm pretty sure that they could... No, actually, I think this play. I think this call is correct. But losing a fight like that is rough, especially so close to your buildings. Because now they lose a tier 2 tower. They lose a bunch of creeps on the map, and Radiant is just gonna grow a bigger gold lead, because at this point that is the only way that they can, or not the only way, but that is like the way that they're going to win this game. If they're gonna win this game, is by they're just gonna win a couple fights in a row where they honestly kind of have to outplay you, and then they're just gonna have such a massive gold lead that it doesn't matter that PL is late game and has good core matchups, because the Razor just has like 10k net worth on you. They just have like a 40k gold lead.
I mean, Radiant, they had some pretty good crowd control for the PL, you know. They've got some
this DK25 talent. This is what he bought on Midas, actually. This DK25 talent is going to make the difference.
That's 400 AoE Dragon Tail. Correction, plus 400. Actually, it'd just be 400 AoE, more or less, but
0 plus 400 is 400.
That's a lot of potential AoE stun for the PL. And with the Ravage and the AoE Dragon Tail, it's going to be very easy to just lock down. You don't necessarily have to lock down the real PL, just put the stun in the pile, and the real PL's probably in there, and at that point, kill the illusions, kill the real hero, and problem solved.
I mean, you probably won't be able to kill the PL in just a Dragon Tail, right? Like, you'll need other stuns on top of him, or more likely what's going to happen in these fights is that the PL is just going to get Dragon Tailed like 2 or 3 times. He's going to get Blink Dragon Tailed. They're going to put a bunch of damage into him. And then they, like, as the fight's going on, like, the PL escapes by doppling and then goes back in, and then he gets stunned again. And it's just very annoying to play. Like, this PL kind of needs to get kited, because I think if his teammates are around him, then he can be hard to kill, but the way that he's going to die most likely is by Shadow Shaman Shackles. And so, Radiant's just going to try to kite the PL, and having this AoE DK stun means that you have AoE crowd control that isn't Ravage. That's
it's useful. It's very useful to have that.
Yeah, incredible resource to have against PL.
This could be the new meme between us, isn't it? The term crowd control.
I mean, it's not even a real thing. It's literally fake. You made it up.
Ravage in on 2 heroes, but his zones remain in the team boy. Now swap in, bring PL away from the fight. Big pop by Viper, big pop by Underlord, but Relocate is in. Razor has joined the fight. Again, Dire are collapsing. They bring down Isle, they've already lost 2. Blink in by KU on the Grimstroke. Shackles on Underlord, it's 4 dead. Venge TP's away, but that is only a very minor. Wait, Keita has went in the portal all the way to the Dire side fountain. Grimstroke buys back, Keita jukes him out. What is going on in the Dire side base? He's
You
went, he's
gotta
went the portal.
he got a girl strike buyback. That's optimal. He's alone. Just portals into the enemy base.
It's a very, very fun play. And, well, we follow up a very fun play with a less fun play. It is the third Roshan of the game, but Radiant have their eyes on the prize. It is that Aegis, it is that Cheese, it is the Refresher Orb for likely foreplay, which means you have not one, not two, but three BKBs and three Eye of the Storms.
Yeah, that is it. Like, foreplayer just did way too much damage that fight. I think he like got his Eye of the Storm hitting the real P. I think he linked the real PL or something. And so, I mean, the PL definitely got hexed by Shaman. Kobe's actually like carrying these team fights. PL would be an issue, but he just somehow manages to land his crowd control on the PL every single fight.
But Kobe's, season in season now has been a very strong player. I mean, he owned in the middle lane, he owned in the off lane, and now he's owning from what appears to be this 4 support role. And, well, maybe the league needs to be on notice for this particular League of Legends gamer over here.
I'll be honest, better. You call everyone good. And I don't think that's true, because if everyone's good, then no one's good, right?
If you think about it, logical. The players I don't think are good, I don't cast. Yeah, after when we're off stream, I'll tell you what players I think are bad, and I assure you there's a long list.
Well, I'm just telling you, if every single game there are players that are good, then they can't all be good. Because then that doesn't mean anything that they're good, right? But I'll say that Kobe, you saying something is good? No, doesn't matter. Me, I say something is good? Kobe's popping off this game.
Yeah, you might be right about this one, but I have been on the Kobe train since at least
That's true,
at
actually.
least season 7, probably season 6 actually. Back when he was on the classic Step Bro I'm Stuck team that actually ended up drawing even with Dark W, the only team in the league to draw even with Dark W at that. So this has been a perennially good game for the last year and a half now in lads. Also before that he played on Burnsider, so this is a high caliber gamer right here.
Yeah. Yeah, actually, I do remember he played Quap one game and played really well. I think he like bought the shard and got the 20 talent before that was mainstream. I mean now like literally everyone does that, but I think he did it like 15. I was gonna say 15 minutes. I think he did it like a couple months before it was like super mainstream and everyone knew that Quap was broken. Alright, foreplay does have the butterfly now.
Those were good times before Pop was broken. At this point, she became broken, then got nerfed and is no longer picked anymore. Well, Radiant are choking out the map. They are gaining more and more creeps. They are gaining more and more map control. Tano is outside the base with a ninja gear, but other than that, Dire are not playing too far away from their base. Kobe. Venge. In the 1v1 perhaps. Missile is in. That is not the fight you want if you're Venge. She's running away, but in comes the entirety of the Radiant. KU blinks in. Hunts. Shackles are on Venge as KU hunts for more, looking for PL. Back over to Venge. Her life is lost. Back over to KU. He's still hunting. But Dire had vision on him, so they got away from the DK, but it's still one more death outside of the Dire. And Venge does not have buyback.
Yeah. Radiant's just doing a nice job. Like they're winning the game. They know they're winning the game, so they're doing a good job of just growing their lead right now. I think they're gonna try to end with this Aegis. I think they can. Just because they're so far ahead now. There you got this like nearly 20k gold lead. All their cores really farmed. But yeah. Like how they took that fight.
Wait, their one creep died. They have no way for a little bit longer now, which
Kind of a big deal.
actually, yeah, big deal. I mean, look at the Aegis duration. It's under a minute 30 now, so if Foreplay and company with the Razor want to perhaps go with that 2-life timing, they don't have much more time to work with. I mean, it's Dire are alive on Venge. That pickoff timer was lost, and they're splitting to push out the lanes now. We saw Viper pushing in the bottom lane, and top lane naturally pushed in as well from the creeps, so now it's perhaps the push is dead in this game. Well, we're going the distance. It's minute 40, and I don't think they're going to be done anytime soon.
It's tier 5 items? No. I like it. They don't get anything off of it, but still, they can continue to grow their lead. It's not like them getting a gold advantage is like it doesn't matter for a long time. Like they can still just keep growing their lead, and as long as they don't bleed kills, then they're doing completely fine. Like even at the PL farms, as long as the Razor and the DK and the Tide are farming, he's never going to be. He's never just going to carry the game.
Seeing, I mean, you mentioned these heroes like Tide farming. Tide is close to Air Pressure Orb, which means potentially if he keeps that shard, it'll be 3 Ravages, which I don't think he has the mana to use, but I'm sure Kate will find the way to make it work.
It does have a Soul Ring that reduces Ravage mana by like 170, so it only costs 140 and some change, 150 and some change.
I guess if
Yeah,
he's like not spamming other spells, maybe like 1 Gush plus 3 Ravages, and it's not the. I mean, the Orb has mana cost, but the Shard does not, so actually, it might be enough. I'd probably rather go for Razor, but.
realistically, he's not pressing 3 Ravages at the same time. Maybe he's pressing 2 Ravages at the same time, but most likely he's Ravaging, they're getting a kill, and then they're resetting, which will give him time to regen his mana, and then they'll go back like in like okay, so Ravage CD is like 135 seconds. They'll go back in like 60 seconds after the first Ravage has been cast, and he'll just press Refresher, and then they'll use another Ravage to effectively lower the cooldown to 60 seconds.
Ninja Gear has popped on Viper. He might see DK. DK blinks in comes Wilkie, but the Dire are nearby on 2 more heroes. It's a 3v3 fight. Viper TP's away. It will be in time. There is no cancel, and now the remainder of Dire who were nearby will TP away. See, I'm trying to speak 3 Ravages Tied in one fight into existence, because if there's 3 Ravages in one fight, it's probably a cool fight to cast, and I want to speak that into existence. So it'll be good for my career.
Yeah, you're doing what the Girl Stroke did in the top lane level 1. I'm just gonna continuously refer like no flame to epic, but I think this is like a very like this is just something that happens a lot, and I don't have a good way of explaining how to say it. But it's like something probably shouldn't happen, but you want it to happen, so you just play for it happening.
Forced in by Tano, looking for foreplay, he'll BKB. In comes Kobe, Blink, Hex, Ward Trap, Ravage, dropped on 3 heroes. Doppel used again, Soulbind in, the Ravage again, Dire collapse, 4 down, Venge, her eyes losing is fighting, but it's only PL left. PL will lance, but he must run. It is a lost fight, and Radiant Pursue is their stun in time. Cheese, Dragon Tail, on point, Soundproof will attempt to fight, but getting out is nearly impossible in this 4v1. He'll Doppel again. He'll Trickster's Cloak. Is there detection? There actually isn't, but we'll see him now. It's already over. Gem Tide, and now Soundproof. Again, Doppels. Radiance Pursue. 4 on the way. Blink. Anchor Smash. Venge. Buys back. Is there a swap in time? Yes, there is. Soundproof is out. It's 3 buybacks into the Fiend's Gate. Have Rady overextended pit. They're on 3. I lost this. He's fighting. Fiend's Gate's back. Fiend's Gate cancel it. Goes in again. Dust. Pop. Dire. They're leaving their base. But Radiant will not turn back. They will not overextend. They will back off now, having won a massive team fight and forced out not 1, not 2, but 3 whole buybacks.
That was really crazy. I mean, like a lot happened in that team fight, but the thing that caught my eye was that the PL put illusions on the Tidehunter, and the Tidehunter had a clarity on, and the PL illusions didn't do enough damage to like kill the clarity, but they still do the mana burn. So even though the damage got like the PLs were hitting the Tidehunter and reducing his mana, but his clarity wasn't breaking. I've never seen that before.
How does Radiance now down all the Roshan items, though? I mean, you're right, and I've literally never seen that either. It's very rare interaction. I guess Kraken Shell is just a very
that's
cool
like
ability, but
that's a really good ass resource for Tidehunter as well. Just like having a clarity when the fight starts, because the way PL has to play these fights, I kind of mentioned it earlier, but he just has to cast Spirit Lance. He just has to cast Doppelganger, or not just. It's difficult to do. But he has to cast his first 2 spells, and he just has to stick illusions on these heroes to reduce their mana and try to take long, drawn-out fights where they won't just die all their heroes to Ravage. And once they're able to burn the mana on the Tidehunter and the DK to the point where it's obnoxious for them to fight, like maybe the Tidehunter gets his mana burned and he can't cast double Ravage plus other spells anymore, right? It's already a little bit close. Like he only has 500, and so if he's pressing Wraith Pact, which I'd hope he uses the 5,000 gold item that he or 4,500 gold item that he spent. I hope he uses in the team fight. And he probably wants to gush because he also spent 4,200 gold on that one. It's very reasonable for him to potentially run out of mana with the peel hitting him. So having this clarity on at the start of the fight actually helps a lot with that, kind of. Giving yourself the extra 6 mana regen for the duration of the fight could be pretty useful.
I'm looking at the tooltip on Wraith Pact. Apparently you could put up more than one Wraith Pact before 7.31c. Why are we not seeing
you could rearm
them?
You could rearm them on Tinker, and the DPS aura would stack, but not the damage reduction.
Oh, okay.
So like, it was very bad, but that was the one fun thing that Tinker did have. Now Tinker is at a grand total of 0 fun things. That hero is bad and unfun, and no one cares about it. Plus ratio.
Well, the remainder of the Dota community, I'm sure, are celebrating that fact, but...
I mean, you didn't even know that you could rearm Wraith Pact. I don't know why they had to take that away from us.
I mean, I just learned about it literally a minute ago in the
Yeah,
Dire Side
exactly.
jungles.
So why did they remove that? It makes no sense.
Listen, Ice Frog is apparently
really
giving a massive middle finger to Tinker players, the few of you that are still out there. What is also out there, though, is our 4th Roshan of the game. It is, of course, the Aegis, the Cheese, the Refresher Shard, and the Aghanim's Blessing, and Radiant know it's alive, so... I don't think Roshan's too long for life at this point. Dire are splitting the map, but Radiant's... I mean, you can see Kobe wants to be in the pit right now. He's just standing there, waiting for his team to arrive.
Warplay is actually experiencing some slot issues now. He's gonna have to keep his refresher backpack or something, because I don't think he's content with having this final 6 inventory, or this inventory as his like final 6. He still has progression to go. Like he still has the Aghanim Synth to eat, which is a very big deal on Razor. But he is starting to experience a lot of issues. This is like the first time where just growing your lead on Radiant might start to actually feel a little bit bad. That being said, they're getting a Roshan, which is actually one of the
items to end the game. Is another Aegis.
Yeah, okay. It's the Ags on DK. I think he should have bought an Ags, and I think 4Play should have got this, but this works as well. It's actually just like impossible. Like if you don't have Glyph, it's just like not possible to not let BKB, Refresher Orb, Refresher Shard, Razor kill your base. You just click all 3 of them, and then you run into their tier 4s, and it's just over. The throne dies.
Bottom range racks are just dead, actually. KU blinks in Dragon Tail, swap away the Mr. Steal Your Spells. Radiant will go to Venge and Viper. Viper, BKB, TP's Venge. Not so fortunate. Kill drop, as will his Ag's Illusion, so it's no Venge for 95 seconds. That is a dieback. Relocate will return Io and Razor to the mid lane. 4Play goes forward, untethers, runs into Soundproof. In comes a bash on Razor. Razor is fighting. Beamsgate, Dire, want to collapse. They know Radiant are split. This could be the fight they need. PL, Lances, both teams. BKB, Razor is linking, getting damage, wants to fight. Let his teammates arrive. His teammates have arrived. KU is there. Keita has Ravage in on everybody. Again, another Ravage. Dire, they are on the run. Underlord dead. Dieback, stop your epic dead. Dieback, Soundproof, they see him. And he is dead too. He will buy that, but it's 6 lives into 2 lives. A nigh impossible defense. KU, he has a very strong DK leading the way, and he has 5 teammates behind him. It's going to be a very hard time at this point to play the game for Dire.
Yeah, this game is quite... I mean, the one nice thing is they don't have DK ult for 30 seconds. Unfortunately, Underlord's dead for 90. Your Grimstroke is dead for 70. This is absolutely bare minimum megas, and I think most likely they're just gonna get thrown here. Like they can just go megas and then throw them anyways, and then all the Dire heroes are probably gonna be alive, but they're just gonna lose the fight anyways.
For now, I mean, you mentioned megas in the thrower. That's the play they seem to be going for. KU has more or less 0 mana left, but it seems not to matter. He's out of mana. 4Play is still ready to go, hitting this T3 tower. PL is trying his best to defend. Now Dire have 3. Kobe blinks in, be stunned by Venge. 4Play is low but has 2 lives. Aegis will get popped, it appears. We see a Shackles on Venge, but Kobe has no backup. He'll drop the wards, trying to kill Venge. 4Play is respawn. He'll BKB and Spider Legs, but he swapped back into the base. Slowed by the Scotty of Viper. In comes another Ravage, again on every alive hero on the Dire side. Venge has died. Viper is low. PL's man fighting, but they know the real PL's in there. KU's out of mana. He'll BKB. Venge again is stunned on 2. Viper is hitting, looking for Razor, swapping on IO. Relocate again! What a clutch relocate by Malefic. So 4-play will escape. They will likely leave the IO to die. But for Radiance, what a fantastic stream of events. They've gotten 2 sets of racks. They have gotten a lot of heroes dead and an even larger gold advantage. I got away! Whoa!
Glimmer
How did he get away?
He glimmered and then he tethered to a creep and then he TP'd while he was tethering. Yeah, that's pretty sick actually. They don't have like super obvious cancel. I'm not sure what happened. I wasn't paying attention to the Underlord. Maybe he wasn't in range, but other than that, they would have to like rely on a PL bash. Nice play. It's a kind of a big deal.
I am genuinely shocked by that. They have a sentry on the floor too, but I think he was just out of range of the TPing IO. That is... Man, that's adding insult to injury right there. Not only do you lose the team fight, you lose the barracks. You don't even get the IO kill. That's... Man. That's just unfortunate.
Yeah, it's definitely looking pretty bad for Dire. I did say bare minimum they were getting megas, and they did not get mega'd though.
I guess I'll be content with only 2 sets of racks, but 4-play will come back again soon. He'll have an Aghanims more than likely for the next fight. He has 10,000 gold, so he can just buy that out if he wants to. And Radiant will coalesce into the mid lane. Their Congregate S5 relocate brings Razor to the back lines. Underlord will TP away, but Dr. Epic will not be so lucky. That will be a death on Grimstroke, though, and it will be, I guess, Dire fighting his 4 in their base. They can buy back Grimstroke, so it will be a 5-on-5 again, but Radiance, it's a 40,000 net worth lead. That is just one big lead right there.
It is, yeah. You know, I did call this. I said they're going to get a 40k gold lead. The PL is going to be 10k ahead of the... The Razor's going to be 10k ahead of the PL. This is how they're going to win this game. I mean, it's just like how many mistakes would Radiant need to make for Dire to win a fight? It's like a lot.
Apparently at least one more than they did. Probably more than one, but at least one more. We can say that much.
I mean, from this position, I mean, it's like Radiant is just building your lead makes the game easier. It just removes the opportunity for you to throw, kind of.
AU's hunting, but for now there will be no kills. Relocate again is up for Malefic, but seems like Radiant, they're fine playing it slow. I mean, Roshan, the 5th Roshan of the game that is alive in anywhere from 2 to 5 minutes. And our good friend, minute 60 items are spawning in 4 minutes. Correction, 6 minutes.
I would actually be kind of surprised.
See that.
I'd be kind of surprised if tier 5 items happen. First of all, because you said it, and also I feel like this game is not going to that. Maybe the game will end at like 61, but I don't think tier 5 items are going to play a part in the outcome of the game, really.
You need Radiant to lose a fight, which is easier said than done at this point in the game.
They would need to lose a fight and then be scared of losing the game, so they play passively.
I can see it. Dire win a fight, force out buybacks, then leave, and Radiant don't want to leave with their buybacks on cooldown. I can see it. It's plausible, unlikely, but plausible. It'd be interesting if that happens, because if Dire can win a fight, they have to literally win the fight to win the fight, and I'm not sure how they do that, so that'd be exciting to see.
Yeah, I'm not super sure how that one... But they would need to run out of all their BKB timings. Like, their BKBs would need to all get kited out, and then Dire would need to somehow, like, not all die during their BKB timings. And then the Razor would have to... Or not the Razor, sorry, the Viper would have to do a ton of damage to the non-BKB heroes. If he drops snakes for that, that's hateful.
Well, Venge is dead, as is the absolution of Venge, but... Yeah, I mean, that was certainly hateful, but the job was done.
Yeah, no, it's actually kind of reasonable, because you don't want to get fogged like that, so it's... I can understand it.
Buyback from Venge. We're seeing Dr. Epic fighting with KU. BKB popped by KU. Grimstroke will lose his life, it appears. He does have buyback, but he's dropped the gem. I don't think KU knows that. I'm not sure if it'll matter. KU already has a gem. Dire sent out a courier, so I guess they will get their gem back unless KU kills it. It will go under a Radiant Side Obs Ward, and KU will one-up the courier. So they have to know the gem somewhere thanks to that courier. KU's picking it out, and so he's picking up another gem. KU's got 2 gems. He's seeing a lot of true sight right now.
I like that he has his bots too. I think this item for a long time was just some like meme late game item that like was not really useful, and you'd buy like in the super ultra late game, and aside from that it was pretty irrelevant. But I think this item has a lot of utility now with how much it buffs your teleports.
Blink Ravage again in on 2. One more Ravage in on 2 more. That is Venge dead with a dieback. Underlord dead, has no buyback. PL has been stunned by KU. PL will doppel. Can he get away? He's just so low. They know he's there. He has the mantle. One more doppel, but no, he's stunned. And Soundproof, well, his buyback is on cooldown for 20 seconds, so he will have it when Radiant either go for Megas or go for Throne. But if Radiant want the Megas, they have a 15-second window where it's only a 2v5, and that seems to be where they're headed.
Yeah, they're going to take the tracks, and they're going to go, and they're going to end the game afterwards, even through the buyback of the PL, I believe.
Underlord, he just lacks the money, too, for the buyback. He's just 450 gold short. That is not what you want for your Underlord, and we get a pause! Foreplay! That's a minute 57 pause, my man!
They are 1k gold lead a minute now. 57k gold lead.
It's usually a very good sort of bellwether to say the game's over. If you're ever down by 1k a minute, the game's probably just over, and, well, one more lost bite from Dire and the game will be over. The wards have been dropped by Kobe. KU hunts in the trees. He wants to blink and stun, perhaps Viper, but maybe he's waiting for Grimstroke. I'll find out. Blink? It's blinking away. Never mind. They're backing off. They're actually going to push in the other lanes and grab the bounty runes, it appears. Interesting play by Sus.
This is definitely... I'd say this is like too... what's the word I'm looking for? This is probably too safe. Yeah, too cautious, definitely. But there is a Roshan up, so...
You know, 4 Roshans, not enough. They want the 5th Roshan, but Dire, the first time this game, we're going to contest Roshan. Can they get there in time? Roshan, low, Viper, nearby. Roshan again goes to the Radiance. Keita has been linked. In comes the Dire, collapsing on in. Can they kill anyone? Tide is old. Tide is dead. Has no buyback. Now Razor is half HP, has 2 lives, but Dire are sustaining. PL is in, hitting the DK. The DK is being run at by Soundproof. Can Soundproof dash him? Foreplay, dies, respawns again. He's tethered. KU is still fighting. But now, it's Tano dead. Soundproof goes on Razor. Razor is low. Relocate. Is it there in time? No, it is not! Foreplay! He's dead! And you have to buy that if you have to fight again. Shaman tries to TP. It is unsuccessful. Somehow, some way, down 60,000 gold. They have won a team fight. Io has returned, and this time, they will not let him glimmer in TP. Another death. I believe that is 4 deaths in the fight. A triple kill for Soundproof. And, well...
yeah.
What just happens?
They didn't have BKBs on Radiant. I think the Razor BKB was cooldown, the Refresher was cooldown. And so, even, well, like, that was actually a pretty cool idea from the Viper to just go in and try to like, force the fight. Viper goes down, but Tano gets a ton of damage in and has the buyback anyway, so you can come back into the fight.
Radiant have all their buybacks, but they've already used 2 with Io and Razor back into the fights. In the racks. They're under attack.
I mean, this Rax is not that important, and but the Razor buyback is definitely important, though. Dire still don't have buyback on their cores, so they're going to need to win another one of those fights. But if they do win another one of the fights, the game ends immediately. Look at what's happening on the ground.
Look over where?
The Dire base. Soundproof lost like 700 gold.
Oh, and the fountain. I didn't even see what it is. Oh,
Yeah.
Bloodthorn problems. Okay, I see.
Yeah. Oh, Mirror Shield. Tier 5 items. Apex.
Usually we have a bit of a joke among ourselves that whenever a caster mentions tier 5 items, there will not be tier 5 items, but apparently we've bucked the trend tonight. It's minute 60, it's tier 5 item time, baby. Let's do guess
It's because
what?
I said it wasn't gonna happen. I reverse cursed it.
Well, technically we cursed it in both directions. I guess they equaled out. I cursed
True.
it one direction, you cursed it the other direction, so no matter what, we have something happening. For now, it's actually Dire with 3 items, Radiant only with 1 item. And I'm sure both teams have tier 5 items on the mind right now.
Okay, so I told Badger about this idea before, but like all the tier 5 items are good in certain scenarios, but some of these tier 5 items are just significantly better than the other ones in all scenarios. So like Book of the Dead has to be one of the worst tier 5 items. Both teams got it. Force Boot, that Radiant got Force Boot is incredibly OP. The other one that I was telling Badger about, Arcanist Armor is broken every single game. Having that item and then your opponent team not getting it can definitely turn the game.
Well, Radiance did not get an Arcanist armor, though Dire still have 2 more slots to obtain. Their Tricamp is currently already farmed out, but if Ice Frog and company are smiling down upon the Dire team, they may get an Arcanist armor with those last 2 item slots.
I also got Book of the Shadows. Giant was telling me this is the worst tier 5 item in the game. I'm not sure how much I agree with him, but this item is also very, like Radiant. I'd say got pretty unlucky with their tier 5 items. They got 2 that are not the best. Apex on DK is pretty good. Apex, I think one common misconception that I don't really see too much nowadays, but used to definitely be what used to be common was that people thought that Apex, ever since they made it plus 75. Oh,
Oh, big pick off bottom lane if they can finish it. BKB, TP, will it work? The answer is yes.
okay. I can go back to talking about Apex now. People used to put it on agi heroes, but having 75 damage and 75 attack speed is like not really the craziest for a neutral item slot, which is kind of crazy to say, but I mean, compared to a strength hero getting like 2k HP, I think.
Well, bottom lane, Abyssal on KU, but he's invis, he's fine.
Yep, invincibility.
Guess PL could not slot his dust as an 8th item into his build. He has too many items, not enough
He's
slots.
that fake grenade. They didn't get one, unlucky.
Minute 63 fake grenade for True Sight.
Oh, they did have one, not, yeah, that's on him then. Definitely his fault.
We're still waiting for
real
that
item.
5th item for Dire, by the way. They have not gotten a 5th tier 5 item. They get a Book of Shadows, so 2 books to the dead, 2 books of shadows. Quite the library being doled out by Ice Frog tonight, but no 5th item yet for the Dire side.
Mirror Shield is generally pretty useful, but it's not crazy in either direction. Not crazy terrible, not crazy amazing either. It's definitely obnoxious to play against. Yeah, I mean, the fact that they don't have this tier 5 item is kind of a big deal. I do think they should try to send someone on the map right now to finish it. They don't have a ninja gear, which is actually kind of a big deal. Wait, no, do they? I forgot.
Dire had one previously. The Viper was carrying it for the last like 25 minutes, but
Yeah, they do. Okay, yeah, I think someone should go ninja gear and then just run down the bottom lane and then run into this radiant jungle and try to farm these camps to get their tier 5 items. When it just auto defaults to seeing radiance neutrals unless I like specifically click on a dire hero and then like stay clicked. Like if I click off of it, then it just goes back to radiant.
So, can you refresh Book of the Dead?
Yeah, but it resummons them. It doesn't spawn more.
I'm just trying to rephrase it. Does it resummon a second set of units? Or is it like the old Necro book where if you resummon, it just dies? Yes, it just dies.
It dies and then you spawn new ones, yeah.
Yeah, that is not as good as well, I guess it would be a double set, which would be 4 sets of Necro units, which now thinking about it sounds pretty broken right now.
You know you could spawn multiple sets of necro books if they weren't the same level. No one ever did this, but I knew about this at some point. But oh, is something happening? I lost this.
Big jump top, bottom lane. It's Underlord, hexed, stunned, dead. Does he have buyback? The answer is yes, but it's still a big pickoff. Sus. They were in the trees, had a ward nearby, and they were waiting for that exact play to happen.
Holy shit, the Razor has uncapped move speed because he's got the force moves. He's chill, he's cruising at 660 right now.
Link on in again, this time on Venge. Underlord buys back, Fiendskit, and Ravage. It's hit everybody again! The 4-man Ravage, another 4-man Ravage! Keita has brought down both supports. Venge buys that into the fight with Dire. Have Underlord. That is a dieback. PL will get an exchange for the Tide. The Viper has wrapped himself to the Shadow Shaman wards even. So now it's Radiant on the run. They will lose their Isle perhaps, but KU in foreplay. They are here to fight. He's looking for Venge. His BKB again is active. Everyone that can buys back into the game. Venge has died back. There's another 2-man and it's another pause from foreplay.
Stop this. As Wise Man once said, stop this.
They don't even believe the pause. We are apparently back again, and now Razor is still hitting Venge. That will be the official dieback, but PL is hitting foreplay. Malefic is healing, but there's not enough heal. Dieback on the Razor! Dieback on the IO! Wait a minute! Now both teams have key diebacks, and again, Radiant could not finish the Megas.
That's kind of a big... I think the Grimstroke did the most damage in that team fight. I don't know if it'll show it. Yeah, I don't think it counts the Dark Portrait damage, but the Dark Portrait DK illusion was just like tearing up that fight. It was cleaving on like 3 or 4 Radiant heroes, and then he spawned 2 of them, I think. Epic, like, super popped off that fight. Did a shit ton of damage. We can see once the game ends, because I think this is the only time that he's gotten it on the DK, but we can see just how much damage it does in the damage breakdown.
We're still, by the way, waiting for Dire's 5th tier 5 item.
They should get on that. The Razor does not have buyback.
I'm going to draw arrows for Dire to get this camp here, this ancient camp. I'm gonna draw some arrows.
I guess they have to be a little bit scared, because they only have 2 heroes alive. Radiant does only have 3 heroes alive. Dire only has 2 heroes alive, though.
I guess there's enough crowd control that's scary. I mean, Dragon Tail,
True.
X, Shackle, and by the time you're done with all that, you can continue the chain, so... If Radiant don't mess it up, it's full 100% wait. KU's in! Blinking in for Dr. Epic! Dr. Epic! He's still alive on the Book of the Shadows! And now, Soundproof looks for big kills, heads on KU, the Abyssal is in, but Soundproof is alone, but his teammates are responding. Underlord in 5 seconds, Viper in 10 seconds. The Lance will slow. Keita pops his Book of the Dead. He'll gush and walk away, so one more death. One more dieback at that for the Dire team, but again, the game state has not moved. It is minutes 68. Radiance, they've been one fight away from victory for like the last 40 minutes almost, and yet the game, it just continues on.
This is 6?
Yeah, this is Roshan number 6, so I mean, does anyone on Radiant not have an axe yet? Does not have an axe, okay. So we were seeing by default...
This axe is actually, like, debatably bad, I want to say. Pirate, that's a really big. That is, like, I mean, okay, I think this item... I probably overrate it a little bit, just because it has a lot of, like, interesting applications on heroes. This item is pretty... Like, they have Underlord, though. Underlord might be one of the better Pirate Hat heroes. Oh, yeah, Viper also? With the Pirate Hat? Holy shit, he's, like, max attack speed now or something. No, actually not even close, but
he hits very attack speed for a Viper. I mean, 517, that's 3 attacks per second on a hero like Viper. You usually don't see that.
He was sitting at 360 attack speed, and now he's at 517.
It's even higher. I'm not sure what he just bought, but he now has 5. Oh, Moonshard. He's consumed the Moonshard as well. That's an extra 60 attack speed there too.
Yeah. Hits really fast, and Viper is also doing a shit ton of damage in these fights. Once the BKBs run out for Razor, like especially for the Razor, with this MKB and the Shard Poison attack, it is like actually doing a ton of damage to this Razor. Razor 4-play is not particularly tanky, even with the Wisp on him. The Wisp doesn't have any crazy healing items or anything. Like Wisp doesn't have a heart, which sometimes you'll see 70 minutes of the game on Wisp, even though it's definitely a luxury item. But Malefic went for a lot more like utility kind of items. Has the Hex queued up right now.
Yes, when 70 minutes into a game that your team is winning by that much gold, you would expect whatever luxuries you need and just He's not that. I mean, everyone but the IO is rich. It appears. I guess
He does have 23,000 net worth on Wisp, which is rare.
this is true, but it doesn't feel like it. You know.
Yeah, definitely.
I'd say Shaman. Shaman has 23k net worth. I feel it. He's got Ags, Refresher, BKB. IO, like, yeah, it's more like 17k net worth. You know.
Well, well, Wisp has the Ags as well. You just don't notice it because it's not good.
Actually, I guess subtract 6k and that would be the IO net
Yeah.
worth. But yeah, I mean, Radiant, they don't want to go in. As it currently stands, we have 5 buybacks on cooldown, all with more or less 3 minutes of time on the buyback timer, that being the Tide, Underlord, Shaman, Grimstroke, and Venge. So Radiant have 3 buybacks, Dire have 2. But for now, we are once again not forcing the issue. These range racks are just persistent. They are a true bulwark this game in the face of his teammate buildings dying. And well, even though it's a 60,000 gold lead, I don't think it matters anymore. It just doesn't matter.
Yeah, it really, I think like every single cast I mentioned that as long as you keep building a lead, then it doesn't matter.
Ravage
You'll win the
only
game
on
eventually.
1 this time. Hit
And
has been dropped by Underlord. He's now bashed by I have no idea who. Dragon Knight, I should say. Magic missiles are flying, lances are slowing, but Radiant have kited around. Venge again.
Searstone.
It's a wild game.
Yeah, it was. The Peel has the Apex now, so this is the thing that I was saying that I didn't like. I think it's okay because the Peel is pretty hard to kill. It's actually pretty surprising. He slots in Apex and then he goes for the late game Octarine core.
Whoa, there we go. Radiant going Underlord. Underlord is their key target. This is where Ravage will be there on 2 heroes this time now. Income text, they're on Peel. Ravage again, they're on 3 heroes this time. But nobody on Dire's dead. It's Io who's dead. Io, buyback, relocate, but he's bashed immediately. PL low, he's track control, but he has the buyback once again. He will buy back into the game. Now it's Radiant on the run. Relocate has ended. Malefic is once again going to be gone, but Dire run it Tide instead. Tide has no spells, has no items,
DK illusion.
have no HP. Again, that Dark Portrait illusion doing massive damage, and it will be a 1-for-2 trade and a 1-for-1 buyback trade.
That is. Yeah, these fights are not trivial for Radiant. I think what's gonna end up happening, they're gonna have to resort to this Shaman Ags rat stuff. I don't think they can take a fight just head on 5v5 anymore. I think that they're gonna have to rely on distracting them, maybe like chain ravaging some of the heroes, and then all the way back in their fountain, there's the Shaman that drops wards. They still have Glyph on Dire though, which is the main concern. And they don't even have Megas on Radiant. I didn't even realize. Sus does not have Megas. This Rax has still stayed alive. Ever since that 40-minute mark where I said that Megas was the best possible scenario for Dire.
We're saying Megas into Throne, and not only did they not get the Throne, they didn't get the Megas. And well, I guess you can try to get the Shaman boards on the buildings. The problem is Dire is such a little base to defend now. It's easy to defend your base geographically when you have such little base. There's just a tier 4 and some Rex. You can draw a little triangle around them. You're good. There's not much space between the two at this point.
He really does have a Remnants, Bruce and Razor. This item is good late game. It's not good on Razor, and I don't think it's particularly good against the Dire heroes. Because the thing about this item is that it ignores armor, right? When on your auto attacks, which can be a really big deal against high armor heroes.
Ooh, they found Underlord, but they could not kill him.
He's going back in the portal.
Now Dire leave their base. Here we go. Perhaps they find Kobe, but he blinks away again. The reactions from Kobe. Now swap, but no. The Hex Abyssal will cancel the TP of the Shaman, and Shaman will go down. He's dead for over 2 minutes, but does have buyback if he wants to make a an even longer respawn time next to life. But again, we lost this. Despite the name, they are unable to be willing to lose the game. They're fighting on to the bitter end, and I mean, look at the clock. It's minute 74. I believe this is the longest game we've casted together as casting pair. So this is quite the long game.
It definitely, definitely is quite the long game. I'm trying to I think that the Radiant's like pretty much. Okay, they could maybe win a fight if Dire like really messes up, but I think that the way that they should try to play the game is to aim for this Shaman double ward on the tier fours. I mean, I say the tier fours. There's one tier four in his 50 HP. I okay, actually, wait. This game is kind of hard for Dire because they have Razor Ags and they have the Shadow Shaman Ags. Like these are both heroes that can do this rat shit, and it's like very dangerous just because they kill the building so fast. But together, it becomes a really big problem. You can like you can relocate the shaman in, and then the razor bots twos onto the shaman, and then you double wards with the razor ags going on top of it, and that
Foreplay actually is in danger.
is
His CPU is
dead.
canceled by the Abyssal Blade. Does he have buyback? Yes, he does. That's still. Look at the. He gave up 3,000 gold for that one kill.
Yeah, that's pretty funny.
It's a 5k gold swing from one. Is that even a streak kill? No, it's not. It's a 5,000 gold swing for a non-streak kill. I mean, it's still a 43,000 net worth lead, but. Well, we actually might be in a little bit of danger here. Dire are in the Radiant base. They're on the barracks. That
Look at
will
the
be
top lane
melees
though.
down, but you
Yeah,
mentioned
look,
top
they're
lane.
going, they're going. Holy shit, they've
He's
no
in.
backdoor. They
In comes
lost.
relocate. The wards are dropped. T4 is dead. Can Dire defend? There's so many wards. Dire are all back in their base. But Radiance, again, the
They
wards
hold.
are still hitting. Shaman is stunned. The wards are going to die, though. It will not be thrown. That is that's scary. The Fiend's Gate is still active. They're back in the Radiant base now. Here we go, baby. We're back. Never mind. Not everyone went through the portal. It's only two heroes that are back. It's Underlord and Grimstroke. K goes forward. Dragon Tail's on the Grimstroke. In comes KU. In comes Keita. They want big kills. Razor buys that into the game. It will be fine against two. I lost this. Will BKB and TP and get away. And Grimstroke is walking away. Somehow they have not found the Grimstroke.
Okay.
The Lincoln execution right now from the side of WeLostThis. Wait, never mind. KU is found. Dr. Epic. Barring a miracle, Grimstroke will die here. BKB. Dragon Tail, is that a dieback? No, it is not. Again, he has a buyback up.
This. Okay. They got the razor buyback, which is nice for a Dire. I think that Radiant's about to win the game though. They just have to wait for the refresher to come off cooldown for Shaman. They use Glyph on Dire. So they wait this 90 seconds, you can just all in the throne. You double Eye of the Storm, sit on top of it, you drop double wards. I mean, DK can even be hitting. He's got Ags and the extra tower damage. There's just no way that they can defend. Even if they have backdoor protection, I think the throne will still die. But especially without backdoor protection, yeah. Like they got creeps coming in right now. I think they should just book it.
No glyph, no backdoor protection. It will be a 5v5. Anything is possible, but once again,
The creep wave died.
It did die, you're right. Never mind, there's no waves in the base. I guess Radiant could attempt the back door, but that's a very risky maneuver at the stage of the game.
You finished a rip here. So I have to imagine that they have the same idea going on. It just they have not won a fight for like 40 minutes.
It's quite literally half the game, as crazy as that sounds. In we go, into
Oh
the base,
yeah,
smoke is
there it
hit.
is.
They're on the throne. Eye of the Storm pop, KU, the wards, the damage, it's just too much. In 78 minutes, Sus have taken game one over WeLostThis.
Yeah, there's just no way to you actually have to just go and try to end the game after you use Glyph there. Because it's like even if you have all 5 of your heroes set up, you know that they're gonna make this play, it's still not possible to defend, I think. You don't have any BKB piercing. Actually, you do have the Venge stun, but you don't have enough BKB piercing stun to deal with the fact that they can just BKB and sit on your throne. So you just have to make sure that the situation can't come up.
I have
And
to go to the bathroom so badly, I'll be right back.
that was a really good game. Goddamn.
I'm back. Dude, I had to go to the bathroom like minute 4. It's like, oh, the game's gonna be over soon, right? We're good. Wrong. Was not over soon. I feel better now. Guess that for game number 2.
Yeah. Fine. If it's as good as the last one, then should be good.
What's your thoughts on Fourplay's performance? He's asking right now.
I think he's asking you. I don't think he cares about my opinion.
I thought he played pretty well, but the late game got a bit wild and crazy.
Yeah, I like that he bought Mjolnir. I think he played some of the mid game fights wrong, but for the most part, he played pretty well. I think he like played the best of any players in the lobby. To be honest, like KU had a like KU had a really uncharacteristically bad performance. I would say like griefing the game with his build and took a bunch of bad fights early on. So I'd say he played the best of everyone. Kobe played really well as well for the
I was
earlier
impressed by
part.
Kobe.
Yeah, like for the first like 40 minutes, he played like really stellar. He would like he was blinking, dodging smoke ganks. He was always somehow hexing and shackling the real PL. He's playing really well, but I mean, he didn't play bad, but I just didn't notice the same impact later on. Oh, actually, there's something I want to check. Hopefully, they don't start the game.
You got probably a minute or two.
Okay, yeah. One thing that I want, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, that doesn't work. Oh, never mind. I was just lied to.
Who was lying to you?
Nah, nah. Reddit lied to me. That's fine.
If you think about it, if they don't know better, it's not a lie. It's just them being stupid. Consider the following: we apparently are jumping into the game too, maybe, possibly. Got someone muted or something?
What's up?
Trying to see if I have someone muted or something. Trying to figure out why.
Nah,
Oh, they're just not.
I
They're
don't
just
see
not
anything.
responding. They're just not responding. Who won Flip Game 1? I had it on stream, but that was like an hour. That was an hour and a half ago. So normally I'd like host the lobby myself, but yeah, I'm good. Spent the last week hosting lobbies 8 hours a day. I'm good.
Jork is in slot right now, and Foreplay is in unsigned players.
Yeah, apparently Foreplay is not playing game 2.
I see, I see.
I'm honestly not sure why, but apparently it's not.
Well, that's how it goes sometimes.
They just they had Foreplay in their party, didn't they?
Yeah, that sounds correct.
Who is on the lobby host? Perfect. I can reinvite them though. Try to get away and they just keep dragging me back in. I think that broke the coin flip. Yeah, that broke the coin flip for
If
sure.
they set their team name, if they set their team name correct, I think it fixes it. I think
How did you know that? But I didn't know that.
I remember from where there's like a lot of weird coin flip shit I know from Reddit as well.
Okay, I think I've caught my breath. I think I'm ready for game 2.
That's a good game.
It was definitely one of the more epic lads games I've seen in a long time.
Yeah, I'd have to agree with that. We also didn't mention it, like literally the entirety of the game. Soundproof is level 30, but he's Grandmaster PL.
It's pretty cool.
He got it 21 hours ago as well.
He's getting ready for the match.
Your mic cut out when you said that. I'm not sure what you said.
Gotta get ready for the match, you know, practice for the PL. For me, it's like, hey, I just got 30 on PL, guys. I want to show it off. Picking PL tonight. Potentially. Make sure the lobby settings are correct. They did not mark the win. They did not mark the win. I did not. Ooh, okay, yeah, we're good. I'm just gonna press the button. I'm just gonna press it. They can't stop me.
They can, I think, legally, but they won't.
I'm a blue button presser, you know. I'm a real blue button pressing enthusiast.
That's fine. It's fine. They said, yeah, okay.
I'm actually one of the world's premier blue button pressers.
Actually, they never said G on sus, but I'm sure they're chilling.
5 seconds remaining.
I mean, they already have KU taking the captain, so I'm sure they're at least somebody's conscious over there. They're ready to go. I'm curious to see if putting in Joe Rick's going to change the roles or not. Because Joe Rick's more like a 2-3 player than he is a 1 player, but we'll find out.
Razor is gone.
The
I wonder
Razor
if
player is
Underlord.
gone, so is the Razor.
Yeah, I wonder if Underlord will be banned because
10 seconds remaining.
Razor was. They did pick Razor in the previous series, but Razor definitely felt like it was a situational thing. More specifically, because they were against the Underlord, and also partly because they had the Wisp on the team already. So I wonder if Sus's first phase bans is going to be are going to be Pango Underlord. That would make sense in my head. Because now they don't have the same answer to the early Underlord.
10 seconds
I mean, that being said, there's a bunch of other heroes that are good at punishing Underlord. So it's not that they got plenty of other options.
There's been a lot of time in this first phase of bans. Like a lot of time on the first phase of bans. You see a number of teams between pro and amateur teams will snap those bans right away, but that's, I guess, 23 seconds. 23 seconds to reserve time is not that much, but it's more than usual. Let's put it that way.
Seconds remaining.
They're spending their time as well. They're considering the Underlord ban, perhaps, or perhaps not. I believe it was a 6-pick Underlord if memory serves. It was 5 IO and then like 6 Mars Grimstroke, 8 Razor if memory serves.
Yes, exactly how it went down. Okay, so CK is not banned anymore. The first phase bans from Sus were Pango CK, and then from WeLostThis was Caudle Mars. So Caudle and Mars are still banned. Sus bans Mars this time. CK is left in the pool.
If Radiant don't pick either CK or Grimstroke, I wouldn't be shocked if Dire just lock in CK Grimstroke right then and there. It's a very powerful combination. We've seen it everywhere for a reason. And they will choose the CK part of that combination. I'm curious to see if Sus are going to go for the... I'm about the sort of like orthodox pro combo nowadays, where if one team has CK, you see the other team pick Wyvern a lot of the time. I've been a really big fan.
This is literally not even true. It's just Dog Champ.
At least more than one team other than Dog Champ. It's not just Dog Champ.
Who else?
I think Wildcard do it, right?
No.
I guess I've been watching Dog Champ every day for the last week.
It's literally just Yard. Yard is a big appreciator of the hero.
You know, to be fair, I've been watching Yarn every day for the last 4 days, so maybe that's why. I'm watching Yarn's Wyvern every day for the last 4 days.
They did go on a crazy kill streak in the lower bracket. They literally they went like 10-0 or something. 8-0, 10-0?
They went 8-0 in losers until Grand Finals, and then they got 3-1 by nouns. And then they beat good teams too. I mean, they beat Osmium, then Akori, then Infamous, and then Wildcard, of course, is probably the biggest one to get there. That's some big wins. Then nouns happened. They just kind of won 3-0. Or sorry, 3-1, I should say. That is Underlord and Pugna, isn't it?
Yeah, those are some pretty good heroes as well.
If Radiant wants CK Grimstroke, they can have CK Grimstroke. It is available.
5 seconds remaining.
Yeah, yeah, I think it's fine. It's an option. I don't think it's like it doesn't stick out as like being some crazy good thing. It's definitely solid. I mean, CK Grimstroke, good combo, but I don't think it's amazing. If it makes sense though. I like the Underlord, Pugna. They got a lot of damage reduction already. These heroes both like buying Wraith Pact. They got Atrophy Aura. They have the Pugna Ward. A lot of damage mitigation.
Oh boy, it's time for some some more Wraithback.
Always. I invented that. I'm the CEO of that item. I bought it. Or I wrote the article on it before the major started.
We didn't see that much before your article. Article comes out, suddenly everyone's buying Wraithback. Maybe being on the front page of Dota Buff is just pro sauce. Hey, Wraithback's good, guys. Let's buy Wraithback. So I guess you
Yeah,
are.
that's for sure. That's
I'm
100%
sure.
what happened.
I'm sure
I
it wasn't in
definitely
scrims or anything.
yeah.
And the funny part is you probably knew that too. You probably saw it in pro scrims, didn't you?
I talked to someone who works with one of the pro teams, and we had a conversation about Wraith Pack before.
Remaining.
I didn't want to rate anything in the article that used what he told me, but he was talking about how it was very strong. And then I think that was even before it got the small buffs. And then yeah, after that happened, people started catching on. They had some good answers to it. The last game though, illusions do full damage for Wraith Pact, so PL is one of the better heroes at killing it.
That is not a Grimstroke, by the way. For those who are wondering, that is a Snapfire instead,
Thank you.
which is not Grimstroke. But I guess if you want to go CK3, like a CK plus Snapfire combo, it's pretty powerful in lane. A lot of stuns, a lot of minus armor. That's just hard for a lot of safe laners to play into.
Yeah, that is in fact not a Grimstroke. I think.
10 seconds remaining.
It definitely works. It does not work as well with the Chaos Knight as Grimstroke does, but
Team ban.
it fulfills a different niche. You can kill Pugnaward as well with Little Shredder, I believe. If it's not decrept,
I'm sure, yeah. It's kind of like Tombstone, right?
that I don't feel like I've ever seen it, but I have to imagine that's how it works. Um, Snapfire definitely kind of gets owned by the Netherward damage reduction though. So like if you drop in Netherward and then you decrep it, Snapfire is kind of just has to kind of sit there for a little while, unless you want to cast all your spells into the Pugnaward, which does a lot of damage to you and reduces the damage of your spells.
Remaining.
I guess Snapfire is a pretty high strength hero for a spellcaster, but the reduced damage is definitely a second major downside on top of doing half your HP with spell damage.
I mean, yeah, like the whole idea behind this hero, especially when you have a CK first pick, which is like an offlaner with like a pretty decent stun early on, is Snapfire is a hero similar to Skywrath Mage, similar to Techies. You just want to cast your spells on the stun guy, and you just want to be a ton of damage so that when you actually catch a hero, you can be sure that they die. And having your damage reduced by Pugna Ward does not let that happen. Like the Underlord, for instance, probably dies or like 9 minutes. Actually, there's like no way that's ever gonna happen. There's no way the CK is gonna interact with Underlord really, but any hero will pretty much die to the CK plus Snapfire because these heroes do a ton of damage individually, and then together they also just do an unreasonable amount of damage that early on in the game. But with Pugna reducing Snapfire's damage, then I mean that's like 30% of their damage reduced. It's 30%, right? 35. I should know this. I should definitely know this. It's 25.
Well, we are past the second phase of bans. We're now on to the fun part of the draft. At least my favorite phase of the draft, that second pick phase. I am a big enthusiast of 15 pick, because usually when 15 pick comes in, I understand the draft, at least somewhat. Like, my level of understanding of a draft goes up significantly when 15 pick comes in. I'm a big fan of 15 pick.
Uh, Yeah, I think it gives you good insight into the game. The 15 pick's also important. Like people like to talk about the 8 pick a lot because you get a pick and then you get 3 bands right after it. 15 pick you get 3 bands and then you get the 15 pick. So it works in a similar way. And that's why a lot of times you'll see pro teams picking core heroes on 15, like a carry hero on 15, because it works the same way as picking core hero on 8. You see that it has some good matchups. You ban some heroes to protection and then you pick it.
10 seconds remaining.
Well then, we do have a Grimstroke. It is not going to the Radiant team. Instead, it is going to again be on the Dire team. But the Dire team is no longer We Lost. It is instead Sus.
Oh, and a Grimstroke. Classic.
Yeah, I mean, it's Pugna has a lot of targeted spells, and by a lot I mean 2. But 2 is a good number, so
I
a
mean,
lot of
those
fun
heroes
there.
work really well together. The Pugna and the Grimstroke having the double decrep, double suck. Decrypt plus Grimstroke Silence as well is a killer combo. You can't hit the bugs when you're decrypt, and having that on 2 heroes could be really obnoxious. These heroes just work really well together. Like Pugna does a shit ton of damage. It's like really easy to execute as well. You Grimstroke, ulti, and then you just press both the Pugna spells. You silence on top of it. Heroes are dying. It does a ton of damage.
We're seeing Disruptor picked 16. Definitely not one of the sort of like in vogue pro supports, but certainly an intriguing pick this game, and especially against the Underlord. And they pair it with a Monkey King, which is probably going to be the carry pick moving CK to 3, but both the CK and the MK can still flex if they so want to.
Yeah. Pretty interesting monkey pick. This is definitely not the most not the most common here, as he said. Lanes very well into the Underlord, so yeah, I think it'll definitely be in the carry role. Could potentially be mid lane, but definitely looking to be the carry role. Disruptor's an interesting one. I think it used to be a lot better against Underlord when Dark Rift was a spell that existed. Wait, is it still called Dark Rift? No, it's
No, it's
like
called Fiend's Gate now.
yeah, Fiend's Gate, right? Yeah, so when Dark Rift was the ability, you could glimpse right before it went off, and it would pretty much negate the ult on the Underlord. And that was a great way of catching the hero. But now I'm not really so sure. I think it works decently with the monkey because you can you can give your monkey a lot of distance to chase heroes. I'm kind of surprised to see it though, because I think a lot of the times when this hero is really good is when A, you have a good vision hero to let you catch people, or there's some kind of channeled spell that you can appreciate being able to or there's a long range spell that gets canceled by glimpse that is really helpful. So like it's pretty good against Snapfire, it's pretty good against Bane, because glimpse is a 2000 range spell and it cancels different channels. So you can cancel Mortimer's Kisses, you can cancel Fiend's Grip, Shackles even. But there's none of that right now for Dire. I guess there's Pugna Suck, but most likely this is going to be a 5 Pugna.
5 seconds remaining.
Yeah, and then the only really options of 4 Pugna with 5 Grimstroke.
Actually, I guess I mean four perks is not the worst either. But my point was that picking glimpse to cancel the 4 or 5 Pugnas suck is like not the biggest deal. But it is pretty good against Pugna actually. I think you can't really hit the Nether Ward at all, but
10 seconds
one of Pugna's biggest assets is the fact that you can save people with the suck and with decrep. And it's really easy to cancel suck for a disruptor. I think generally the Pugna will just be in static storm range. You can probably static storm the hero that he's sucking and the Pugna in the same static storm. Or you can just glimpse the Pugna and then that'll interrupt the suck as well. Life drain.
We are at the ultimate ban of the draft before we go into that penultimate pick, being the 23 pick of We Lost This. We are looking at what is likely a mid laner for both teams. 4 mid laners have been banned out. I guess Visage is more of a flex than a mid laner, but it is 4 heroes that can go mid that have been banned out. A lot of good mids are banned, but Ember's still in the pool, White Spirit's still in the pool. I mean, Queen of Pain's still in the pool for a hero we mentioned like 62 minutes into the last game, but love to see where these two teams end up going here. We got 8 more seconds of reserve time for Radiant, so there really is not too much time to dilly-dally, and they will pick the... okay, that's an OD pick. Interesting. What's your thoughts?
It's Pretty, yeah. I mean, it's definitely not a hero that we see that often. I'm interested to see what the OD buys because I think. Okay, so OD Pugna used to be a really bad matchup for OD because every time that you'd press Arcane Orb, you'd get shocked by Nether Ward. However, I don't think these heroes have been good at the same time, and so I'm not sure how many people are aware, but you don't get shocked by Nether Ward on Arcane Orb anymore, I think, because it only works on it only works on spells that give stick charges.
I'm happy you told me that because I was about to say that exact interaction, not knowing they changed it.
Okay, yeah. And so
I'm
yeah,
really happy
it
you
doesn't
said
work.
that.
It doesn't work for Lesh ult anymore. It doesn't work for ODQ. And so that this makes the matchup more fine for OD. And on top of that, I think that the Meteor Hammer build, like I think whoever is playing it on Radiant is gonna buy a Meteor Hammer, but I think the Meteor Hammer build is like really nerfed on OD, and I think there's a reason that we don't see it that much anymore is because the hero's laning is still really good, but Meteor Hammer doesn't one-shot creep waves anymore. It just does less damage. The item is just worse overall, and it just doesn't fit good on OD. Alright,
I
when I
think I
was
like this Templar Assassin pick as well.
definitely.
I mean, they have some ways of breaking refraction, but I still like the pick a lot this game.
Yeah, Snapfire ult is a very good way. Breaking refraction, disruptor ult also does it does damage instances literally every tick, so it'll like instantly evaporate refraction. But even still, I think it's very good. Good matchup against OD in the game. Lanes, I mean, you can't have a shitty laner against CK, otherwise you'll just get destroyed. And TA is pretty solid against the CK lane because you can refraction the chaos bolt damage most of the time.
But I thought going to happen though, because it's going to be TA mid this game.
Uh,
Unless
you think so?
Jorik is
Okay.
playing a mid Bloodseeker, which
Yeah, that's true. Actually, you're right.
I'm putting the odds at like 90% that's mid TA this game.
Yeah, no, you're right. You're definitely right. It lanes really well against the OD though, even better so than before. I think this matchup used to be pretty good for TA back when you could didn't or not deny. It was like right after you could deny with refraction when OD was pretty decent. I think you had equilibrium on OD and TA was. I mean, TA has been the same hero since fucking forever. Let's be honest. The matchup was good for TA, but it was decent for OD because you can break refraction. Because every time you press Arcane Orb, it breaks 2 refraction charges because it counts your auto attack and the Arcane Orb damage. Right now, though, I think this matchup is really bad for OD. Your Q has a cooldown early on now, so it's very hard to break refraction charges. You pretty much have to you have to be really good at using creep aggro to to force the TA to tank creeps to break refraction, and then even after you break refraction, like she doesn't really care that much about astral. If you astral TA, she can press refraction before the damage instance hits her as well because you have one frame to cast stuff, which is the reason that you can BKB out of astral. You can cast mech and wand as well out of astral.
All right. If you are just joining us, you missed I believe it was a 78-minute epic, but we are now in for game number 2 of this League of Lads Season 10 regular season best of 2 matchup. It is Sus on the Dire team who won the aforementioned epic game 1. They are taking on middle lane. Nah, everyone's fine. But they are taking on WeLostThis, who, as the name suggests, ended up losing game 1. But they, of course, want to bounce back for a 1-1. My name is Badger. I'm joined by the man of many titles, Logical, Dota 2, and hopefully Game 2 proves to be as exciting as Game 1, but just hopefully not as long.
Yeah, that would that'd be nice. I mean, long games generally are pretty good and in pretty epic fashion.
For those who are wondering, we do have a stand-in for foreplay for Game 2. It is the legendary Joe Rick, though he has been nerfed as he's now playing Magnus this game. He'll be playing carry instead of foreplay at game number 2, but unlike last game, nothing crazy is going to happen in the river. No man fighting, simply 2 runes to both teams.
The battle begins.
Is that?
Radiant's level 1 is stupidly strong. Disruptor Q does a ton of damage level 1. Let me run the numbers. 140 damage level 1.
Well,
CK
in
Bolt.
comes the 140 damage right now. Chaos bolts into the Thunder Strike, into the Scatter Blast. The damage is slightly short, so Joe Rick will be forced to probably walk all the way to the fountain. Dr. Epic is still hunting. Courier, Pugna, will lose a courier. He got the item off it, but that's still a courier going to Dr. Epic. He'll even TP to bottom lane, so that's some sick post-horn stuff there by Disruptor. That's already a good lead for the side of WeLostThis.
Yeah, that is a big deal. And Disruptor had to TP bottom, but the Bloodseeker's gonna have to TP top as well, and the Pugna used the TP as well to get this first creep wave worth of XP.
Yeah. Seeker just had, even denied the range creep. Game's over. He denied the range creep. Lane's over. Dire didn't deny that either. He missed a very easy deny on that one.
Seeker has a clarity. That's crazy. I don't know if this lane's over. True. Starting with a clarity, that's a throwback.
And he has a clarity, but he does have 2 range creep denies. I think it evens out.
20. That's less than 30 to 2013 stuff. It just doesn't look right to have a clarity in your starting inventory.
He's got Mango and Clarity. Clarity has been used. Is currently on person, no longer in inventory.
It was canceled. I think it was active for about 4 seconds. He got like no, not 4 seconds. It was active for like 7 seconds. He got a cool 42 mana for 50 gold.
I guess that's I mean that's not too far behind. Actually, I was gonna say it's actually a good bit behind the gold to mana ratio of Mango. So what can you do? Bottom lane's innings well done on Dr. Epic. It's being run out by Keita and Kobe. Soundproof backed him up, and actually I'm not sure if they knew that the range creep was blocking Dr. Epic's pathing there. Might have actually gotten the proper kill, but they said backed off, assuming he could just walk through there.
They did kind of just shove in the wave, though. I mean, I guess this is literally what I talked about being the optimal way to play Underlord. But you did give Monkey level 3, so Monkey's a pretty weak laner until level 3. It's really, like level 1 Jingu doesn't actually do that much, so it's pretty easy to punish the Monkey, like at the really low levels. But now that it's level 2, this hero is absurdly tanky. You've got 7 armor and this Jingu Mastery lifesteal. I think this lane's gonna be really hard for Dire going forward.
You were betting. Never mind. I'm going to catch first blood. Top lane. Malefic is low. Scatterblast into Chaos Bolt into the right. I did not first blood. Stick is pop, but it's still first blood being drawn by Chaos Knight. Will there be Vengeance? Jork needs, I believe, 2 more hits. Fairy Fires pops now 3 more hits. And now they're turning on Jork, who's tanking the creep wave. Chaos Bolt again is up. Reality Rifts. Chaos Bolt, perhaps. Use it, please, for the love of God. No. Cookie in. Stun on Bloodseeker. Scatterblast. Jork's now stunned by Chaos Bolt, and Jork's been the drop. 2 kills for Radiant in the top lane. And, well, last game the lanes were not fantastic for the side of WeLostThis, but this game has a fantastic start in your offlane.
Yeah. Malefic's gonna need to carry this game now. He just got like 7 creeps or something that the Bloodseeker didn't get. You can see Malefic is more than level 3.5, and Jork is less than level 2.5.
That is, well, a lot of times you see the opposite happen, where it's the support who dies and the carry gets the XP, but this time it's the inverse, which is very bad for Bloodseeker, who was a very XP-starved carry.
So, and this lane's definitely pretty rough. I'm pretty certain the Radiant is supposed to win this lane, but definitely not by this much of a margin already.
The little things in Dota sometimes, and right now Radiant picking their opportunities, and they've parlayed it into a pretty significant lane lead. Even though the actual CS differential is not that great last hit wise, it's where the denies come in clutch. I mean, that's 5 denies on CK, and that already pretty substantial XP differential is only larger now.
It's the mid lane. I'm actually mid lane. I'm pretty surprised. It's going very well for the OD so far. I'd say he like already has won the lane pretty much. He is going for the Meteor Hammer build, which I already talked about a little bit, but it's I mean, he can at least pressure the TA's tower most likely, just because he already has such a big lead early on.
Speaking of the lead, it grows across the map. Now, bottom lane, Dr. Epic and Soundproof combine to bring down the Grimstroke. We are seeing Mr. Steal Your Spells kind of intrude on KU's jungle space, but I guess everywhere is pretty good right now for the side of WeLostThis, and potentially Thus could be in for their first loss of the season.
Yeah. You know, there are plenty of throws from both teams last game. I think it's definitely too early to tell, but This is a
their dive.
insane
This is a crazy dive. I mean, ulti is up on OD. Hammer drop KU. No, the refraction. They needed one more hit and they could not get it. They now turn on OD, and well, OD's in the 1v3. He'll turn on KU, but KU again still has the refraction up, and well, goodbye entire lead. It's already gone now. And the bottom lane is will bring down Keita though.
He did this in both games actually, where he goes and he tries to rotate on the mid lane with his mid laner's level 6. Like he puts a ward up, and then he goes to try to wrap around the mid laner level 6. Both games though, it hasn't worked out because he's just messed up the timing a little bit. I think it's just a little bit too forced. You don't really have anything to break the TA's refraction chart. Jorik is dead.
Speaking of force, they forced their spells down Jorik's throat, and well, with no backup, there is no life on the Bloodseeker. There is vengeance, however. Keita on the Underlord, the offlane Underlord TP to the top lane to avenge. That makes the entire lane situation for the Dire very weird. I guess Bloodseeker might just go bottom at this point when he respawns.
Yeah. Actually, okay, I think the best thing to do is for the Bloodseeker to take mid, but I think he is going to go bottom. He's going to get his ass beat by the monkey. I think at this point in the game, it's pretty important to give your carry the mid lane farm. When you lose your lane, or when your carry doesn't really have a spot to go, I think that Jorik is going to die here.
Disruptor is half HP, stun blades, while Soundproof will spring out upon Kobe. Grimstroke. Kobe gets glimpsed back into his depth. Now 6 kills for the side of WeLostThis, and well, Jorik did not die, but his teammate did, and well, if Jorik shows his face, then he will join him.
So he's gonna get a lot of creeps denied here, I believe. Actually, he denies a creep, but anyway, he's doing fine. I think he still should have just gone and take the creeps mid in the small camp there, but if he's not getting punished for it, then this works out even better. They scout the stacks on Radiant. It's kind of a big deal. Although Dire scouts the fact that Radiant scouted the stacks with their own ward, that is, they're not, like, they put a ward under vision and they haven't done anything about Dire's vision. They're just playing like they don't have any wards.
I guess if Radiant get this ward deward, they'll still have this ward for later, but for now they'll instead have the Radiant supports move bottom lane looking for Jorik. But again, Jorik jukes out the Radiant's team. It seems like these Radiant supports are just going to stand here and ensure that KU can't walk there. As that happens, middle lane, Beater Hammer is used on Malphite. The Pugna will drop. KU will defend his tower, but Radiant might just dive him. They've got 3 heroes nearby, but Dire are aware of that. This Dire ward again spots both supports, I believe. Correction, only Snapfire right now, but it means Disruptor is nowhere in the area anymore. He's actually left for the bottom lane, and well, looking over at hero net worth, it's 3 Radiant heroes in the top 4 right now. Though, in the Tri-Camp, it's Mr. Steelio spells. Forced TP away. Keita had the Fiend's Gate, but the root was not there in time. What a well-timed TP by Mr. Steelio spells.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
OD, Tano's a beast on the OD. He hit the Astral Meteor Hammer like frame perfectly. That was crazy. I was like very certain that he was gonna miss on TA.
Apparently he is remembering... Was it 7.30 with no letters, or 7.29 when his build was good?
There was letters when it was good. There's been letters for a long time.
Good point. Bottom lane is Soundproof under attack by Malphite and Keita. Now he'll turn on Monkey King. 2 Jingu stacks are there on Keita, but Soundproof's a little bit too low. Perhaps he's baiting with that magic wand, but Dire will not bite on the bait. Middle lane is where the action is occurring. Tower is already 1/3 HP, even a little bit lower than that, actually. Can Dire defend it is the question. We're seeing multiple Dire side towers taking a lot of damage. Bottom lane again. Radiant go in. Soundproof will tank another blast, but he's still fine. In comes Jorik. Dr. Epic might not be fine. Balance Strike stuns 2. Bloodseeker and Pug. Dr. Epic will TP. Is it in time? Yes, it is. Good TP from Dr. Epic. So across the map right now, Radiant just outmaneuvering. Top T1 goes down, and now mid T1 might be under attack too.
I complimented Tano on his meter hammer timing, and then he immediately egregiously misses it on TA, and he gets to Tumblr toy out, walk away. That was a pretty cool play, actually, by Radiant, I will say. I like that idea. The CK TP'd in the trees right as the TA got astraled here, and they were going to use the Astral Meteor Hammer combo to set up for CK getting in on the action. But it didn't quite work out because he missed the Meteor Hammer combo.
Hate to ace Sandy's Eclipse, but he's actually still alive. The Sapphire and OD were not enough damage.
The Pugna Ward reduced the Eclipse damage.
How much percentage? That's a 20% reduction. It actually is a very big deal in this situation. And I'm not sure if that little bit would have been enough, but I mean, every little bit counts, I suppose.
He was probably alive still, to be honest. He was probably alive without the ward still, but it made it not even close. Radiant's sitting with the top 3 net worth heroes right now.
Yeah, CK and TA are neck and neck, and the R2 cores are well ahead of the Dire core. So it's a 2K lead, and all that gold's in the cores right now.
I think we're kind of like numb to leads because we saw the number go up so high last game. Yeah, but this is like a pretty significant lead. I mean, it's not that crazy actually. TSM was winning games at the major where they were down like 4K gold at minute 9, some absurd thing like that. But this is like a pretty this is like a kind of a big lead for as far as like reasonable leads go. His defusal finished on Monkey. Soundproof just big defusal enjoyer.
Bottom T1. Will go down. Glimpse Static Storm is on Bloodseeker in the Boundless Strike, but Jorvik is actually still quite healthy. T1 Tower, it's still alive. Range Creep Interceptor will team up to bring it down. So it's cooldowns on cooldown, and T1 Tower dead, no heroes in the grave. In the middle T1 now is the last remaining Dire side T1 Tower. Look at its HP, it's 118 HP, so it's not living for too much longer. I mean, Keita has been standing mid-lane to defend the tower, but that's not going to work forever. It's in bottom lane, it's Dire going in for Chaos Knight, but it's a Mortimer's Kiss is on the floor, damaging Malefic and Jorik. Reality Rift into perhaps Chaos Bolt in 2 seconds. Jorik runs down the tree. The tree is now dead. Chaos Bolt stuns for 2. Cookie is up in 5. Scatterblast is short. Inkswell will be the turn. Kobe looks to stun. I lost this. I lost his half HP. In comes Tano on the OD. Malefic is relatively healthy. He wants to fight. And actually, Radiant will back away from the Pugna. They no longer want to fight any longer. They have lost the Disruptor, and they will back off accordingly. But during all that, notably, the middle T1 tower drops. So that's all 3 T1 towers dead on Dire side.
Yeah, this is kind of a... Dire's gonna have to wait for their BKB timings, really. This is the BKB, or Bloodseeker, very BKB reliant hero. TA, very BKB reliant hero. Underlord even is pretty reliant on BKB.
Malefic, he's in danger. He actually jukes out the Cookie, but he's still in danger. The life drain is cancelled by Glimpse, but in comes Tano. Tano, not in range. Instead turns for Underlord, TP's in the tree, so good maneuvering there by the side of Sus. Underlord TPing away, Pugna walking away, and now perhaps it is Monkey King. Never mind, I thought he might be in danger fighting in a 1v4, but instead he just wins the 4v1, so... Soundproof's just too strong right now, it appears. Now they'll have the Jorik. I think he's just dead right now. He's going to fight, but the crits from Chaos Knight are just too much. He's just dead.
Ridden doing a nice job of connecting their heroes together. I like the way that they position. Like last game, I talked about how Sus had like a 76%. You know, had 76% of the map. Dire had like, they had like 74% of the map. Dire had like 26%.
Soundproof is crazy. He's just in and just dies. This time in the one before he dies.
I was about to comment before that. Radiant has the 74% this game. They like have just under like 3/4 of the map. They got like all of this pretty much. I'm trying to draw across the entirety of the map, but like
I'm seeing your line.
Yeah, they got like all of that. Yeah.
On this side would be the Dire farm, and then on that side would be the Radiant farm, which obviously Radiant would have a lot more of the map. And maybe the lion's share of that Radiant side, or not, the lion's share of that Dire side jungle that way. Bottom lane, the fight will again break out. Chaos Knight finds Kobe, his Malefic life drains Tano. Silence. Her Disruptor is on Pugna. Kisses are on the floor, damaging Pugna. Pugna is dead. In comes Keith, looking for Mr. Steelio spells. It's a 1-for-1 trade so far. Now glimpses on Keita, but Keita is back to safety. Now Dire will soulbind Tano to his support Disruptor. They turn on Grimstroke, but can Dire find vengeance? Keita is stunned by Chaos Bolt. Inkswell is the counter stun. CK, Underlord, they're both half HP. WeLostThis has Phantasm. In blinks KU. Mel tracking down Dr. Epic. Now it's Keita, and WeLostThis in a 1v1. CK will win it. Now it's KU in meld. Running for more kills. Slowing CK. 2 shots will do it. Correction, 3 shots will do it. Correction, 4 shots will do it. And CK now will die. Blink into meld. Perhaps Radiant can't turn. It's OD and Snapfire Cookie. Never mind, not stunned. Tumbler's Toy away by KU. Overall, a relatively even exchange, but KU will definitely be the big winner of that fight.
Yeah, that fight's definitely really, really good for Dire. KU top net worth, now he's easily the strongest tier on the map. Level 14 after that fight. 0 death still. And so his game is really good all of a sudden. I think it was kind of bad because he got a little bit outlaned. Not a little bit, he got pretty significantly outlaned by the OD mid. But now he's really strong with that blink timing in max meld.
He's not going to slow down for a very, very long time. He has a lot of room to grow still between the BKB, into maybe like an Ags or a Deso. There's a lot of cool items you can buy on the TA to really be relevant for a long, long time in this game. In the Dire side jungle, it's Kobe under attack. And Kobe will die. RIP Grimstroke.
It was kind of close, but yeah, it does go down. Jork's skill build is really crazy, by the way, on Bloodseeker.
Big kill on Tano middle lane. He'll disrupt himself in that banishment. In comes Kate to
That's
defuse
BKB.
and the pit. BKB not going to be used, though. He's just going to die.
Yeah, I don't think it would have saved him, honestly, so it's probably smart not to use it. This is pretty rough, though. His game was, like, very good on the OD, or their game, sorry. It was very good on the OD. But this is kind of happens when you go the brown boot meter hammer into BKB build. You can have a hard time scaling. You don't farm creeps really that quickly because you can't right click. You have no treads attack speed or anything like that, and meter hammer doesn't one shot creep waves anymore. So it's not as good of a farming tool as it was when the hero was good.
This Tumbler's Toy has paid off so much for K. Actually, again, it pays off for Tumbler's Toy. Usually, you don't think of like TAs being the optimal Tumbler's Toy carrier, but it's saved his life like 3 times.
I mean, you know, it's yeah, you know, think about it, but refraction. You know how you can refraction blink if it doesn't get if your refraction instances don't get broken. You can
Tumbler's Toy.
Yeah, same thing. That's pretty funny.
Well, Dire are smoked at their tri-camp. They've run into CK. Chaos Bolt is on Pugna, but Netherward is on the floor. Soulbind's there on OD and CK. Both of them already have HP, and dropping kisses are doing some damage. Can they kill TA? Yes, they can. Versus a trade for 2 different cores. Now, Jorik is absolutely massive. Dr. Epic will drop. They move to Stelio Spells. Mr. Stelio Spells will die with his team. The 4-for-1 exchange. Soundproof will run. Dire actually see him under a ward, but he will get away. But the result is the same. A very crucial team fight win for Sus.
Yeah, that was definitely. Yeah, I mean, it's nice to kill the TA, but yeah, it's definitely Sus' favorite. KU gets to like funnel some of his game into Jorik now. Jorik is sitting decent at net worth. Bloodseeker, I think, is kind of a hero where you're pretty reliant on your timings. You try to play fast, you try to get early BKB. Your hero's really strong early on, thanks to Thirst, and so having just like Maelstrom BKB makes you really strong, and you're able to farm those items pretty quickly. But wasn't able to really get any of those timings. So now I think after that fight, he's more on track than he was before, which is quite a big deal for his own game. A pretty solid Bloodseeker game, all things considered, I think. During his BKB duration, he can be a real problem to deal with, and there are some pretty solid rupture targets on Radiant. OD especially really hates getting ruptured, in my experience.
Well, Radiant, it is now their turn to smoke, apparently. It's OD, Snapfire, and Disruptor in the west side of the river. They run into KU. Banishment will be on TA. Meter Hammer will hit this time. No, he'll blink away by KU. So now Tano's BKBing, hitting Grimstroke. They'll get a kill, but the main target, that Templar Assassin, got away. Perhaps Radiant can go for this top tier 2 tower or Roshan, but I'm sure he would prefer killing KU. And KU, he's a dangerous man with the BKB. He wants to go in again, it appears.
Yeah, this is how much as Dragonlance with the BKB. His build looks pretty interesting, but he's still strong thanks to the meld damage. Yeah, but with the Brigand's Blade as well. Yeah, he's quite potent.
And here we go.
This
The meld
is
damage
crazy.
is dodged by Soundproof. Fiend's Gates. Wait, they're still fighting. Oh no! It's a BKB from Soundproof, but Dire seemed to enjoy this fight. Bounce Strike will hit KU, but KU still has the refraction charges. Now Soundproof will get away. It's a three-man pitch from Keita. Soundproof, he's low, as is WeLostThis, and both of them will die. Now KU blinks in for more banishment, imprisonment into hammer on Jorik, but Jorik is still fighting. OD is silenced, OD is dead. It's 3 kills for the Dire. They want 4, they want 5, they will get 4, and they will get 5. It's a full 5-man wipe, a 5-for-0 rout in favor of Sus, and they will claim the first Roshan of the game, I believe the 7th of the series.
True. It is the 7th Roshan of the series. They are just getting outplayed right now in these team fights on WeLostThis. Sus are actually just outplaying them in these team fights. They're not that much weaker. The Monkey King has like the TA finished BKB, but that was also the Monkey King's BKB reveal. And yeah, I mean, just nice play by KU, honestly, going in on the monkey there, because he knows that he's not going to just straight up kill the monkey or anything like that, or force him out of the fight, but he starts the fight by just going on the monkey and trading BKBs pretty much. So he goes in, casts meld on the monkey, but he plays kind of back because he's ready to back off and then re-engage later on. So he melds, and he always has the BKB, so he's not under any threat of dying, so he can just go and attack the monkey and force reactions. And he did force reactions. He got the Static Storm on him. Or he got the Static Storm placed. And it just led to a very good fight for Dire.
Dire have ganked, and they have found the big target Soundproof. So BKB, we can't even survive with the BKB on. No, we cannot. The damage from KU and Jorik is just too high. And now, Dire, they have to parlay their one big kill into more smaller kills. Though it appears the remainder of WeLostThis will run away, what cannot run away is the middle T1 tower. It will get glyphed, however, but Keita is playing Underlord, so the tower is still going to die.
This game is starting to get really hard for Radiant. I think they don't scale as well as Dire, and they're losing all these fights that are supposed to be at their timing right now as well.
It was really that one fight where, even though the goal was even, KU got a massive amount of golden XP and then parlayed that into a major team fight win for his team when he died, and then, well, that ascended into a full 5-man wipe, and now it's not getting any harder for the Dire for a long time. They'll find CK and OD. OD is fine. CK is in severe danger. KU blinks in for Tano. It glimpses back, but now it's a Soulbind, Disruptor, and Snapfire, as CK is still very, very low. Soundproof will get ruptured. He's trying to fight the Wukong's command, but he's imprisoned by his own OD, and now it's a dead CK. Supports are low. Radiant are collapsing. 2 dead. CK buys back, so it's 3 deaths, but 2 heroes are currently on the sideline. KU again blinks in for Dr. Epic. It's a Chaos Bolt on TM. Can't even kill the TA. She's low, but not low enough, and still has 2 lives. Now Tano, BKB from CK will die back. He's going to die under the shadow of his own tier 3 tower. It appears Jorik wants to dive. Never mind. Blink away by WeLostThis. Gets away from that stroke of fate. Glimpse. Jorik, he's tanking a tier 4 tower even, but I'm not sure if they can easily kill him. It's a pit. It's a life drain heal. Jorik again gets brought back in, but he's still alive. The Meteor Hammer will hit Jorik. Another heal from Milovic. Is it enough? This time it's not enough. Jorik will die. His Pugna, who attempted to heal him, will also join him, and well, his Underlord will be the 3rd death on the Dire side in the fights. Keita. Another kill for Chaos Knight, but
okay,
that's a weird fight.
They got a little bit owned on Sus. I think I mean, Jorik obviously thinks that. I mean, not I don't think he thinks that the game is owned, but he's like they're definitely winning by a good bit now. So he's hoping to just clean out that fight. But that gets him to chase a little bit too far, and so all these heroes are super low on Radiant. And he tries to chase them because he's Bloodseeker. He wants to go run. He wants to use his 1000 move speed, but is just not able to find any of the kills, and then gets glimpsed afterwards.
You got glimpsed here, which is definitely not the ideal position. But if you think about it, you can't get glimpsed there unless you've stood there. So it was his own doing. It's the glimpse of his own design by diving the tier 4 towers. What can you do? I guess the lead is a little bit diminished now in terms of its size, but it's still a pretty significant lead gold-wise and XP-wise and Dota Plus win chance-wise. It is 83% according to Gaben, but The arrow says that Radiant are gaining. And we're... Oh no!
Unlucky.
I'm going to draw the attention to Disruptor,
Yeah,
who
I'm
is...
I'm aware. I'm aware of what's going on.
was currently disconnected, paused for a bug. But if we go to showcase mode for Disruptor, you can see just how close the danger is. The danger is quite literally on top of his hero model, phased in by meld. Oh no, he's in severe danger, it appears.
He was pretty dead, I think, because this I can't circle anything because game's paused, but there was this ward in the Radiant Tricamp that saw Epic
I see it, don't worry.
before he AFK'd, and I think that's why KU even went for that blink. I don't think it was just him seeing him after getting in range. I think he had a decent idea that he was there.
The ward sees all the way over to that secret shop, and you see from the ward's view itself, that's good coverage on Disruptor. And well, we resume the game. Meld Strike, 2 hits, but 2 hits are not enough to bring down Dr. Epic. Instead, Dire saw Soundproof, sort of split their attention there, and in the end, they get neither kill. MK gets away, and Disruptor was TP actually. KU did not have enough backup, but what does not have backup at all is this top T1 tower, which is going to die. Now all T1 towers in the game are dead at that. RIP Tier 1 towers. In the Tricamp, we're seeing Jorg being gone on by Soundproof and Tano, but Jorg will BKB and walk away. That is his 8-second BKB, but he'll be fine.
Okay. So, KU sends a Deso out. That's pretty surprising, actually. I'm not a super big fan of that. I think you should probably just buy a Daedalus at this point. It's pretty whatever, though. Still a damage item. Okay. Radiant's doing a nice job, even though that they're... It's pretty hard for them to take a fight. I like the way that they're set up right now. I think Tano's a little bit out of position, just kind of being mid and farming like one creep wave every 45 seconds. But I like how they're in this bottom lane right now and pushing this wave out and creating some pressure on the map, even though it's hard for them to interact with the Dire heroes.
They're doing a pretty good job of leaving your base and not getting caught. We saw Snapfire all the way at the wave towards his top lane area, even forced out a Fiend's Gate, but he got away there with the TP, so they're buying time, which is definitely good. I mean, the Aegis is lost. It expired on KU's Templar Assassin, but despite that, Dire are still hunting with smoke. Currently, Templar Assassin, of course, the main damage dealer, is still smoked, but smoke was not hit. Instead, Dire only gets some wards up with the smoke. Radiant are splitting. We see Tano again, top lane, but I think Dire, maybe they don't know he's there. I thought they might know he was there with the Meteor Hammer, but instead I'll walk away safely. Dire perhaps might hit the top T2 tower, but they're taking a very slow time doing it, and Radiant are really enjoying that farm run from that.
Yeah. Okay. Dire's being a little bit... No, actually, that's a lie. The reason they're playing like this is because they're trying to farm, or they're trying to set up for the next Roshan. And so taking this tier 2 tower makes it a lot harder for Radiant to approach this area of the map. And they'll probably just try to remain control of this triangle. I'm not really drawing the best circles right now. I think I'm a little bit out of it, but it's they're trying to take control of this triangle area, and then they're going to hold until Roshan. I'm not sure if they can just like straight up end the game. Radiant's got some pretty obnoxious heroes to go high ground into. Disruptor and Monkey are both pretty hard to... They just got big circles that they're good in team fights.
For long last, Dire catch a Radiant hero leaving their base. It is only the Snapfire, but every kill counts, and well, if they get lucky enough, Roshan will be alive in 30 seconds, but if they're... With average luck, it'll be alive in 2 minutes, and with very bad luck, it'll be 3.5 minutes. You see Radiant again will be attacked by a dire side smoke, but the hero who isn't smoked is Underlord, who's caught by 3 Radiant side cores. CK, MK, OD, they're all on top of Keita. So Keita is dead, but in comes the Vengeance Squad. They find Dr. Epic breaking their smoke, but with the status storm, they perhaps are zoned away. KU Inks will bring in Meld, the damage on Dr. Epic will be enough. Now in comes CK, Fantastic looking for Doric, but Doric is fighting with his BKB. I Lost This will go down, now Soundproof is ruptured. Half HP in his own becomes command, and perhaps he will die once it's over. Kobe will break the Tree Dance ability, and now blink in by KU. But the damage? It's
close.
barely enough. It ends up being a 3-for-1 exchange. Dire lost their Underlord, but that is a very strong Vengeance right there with 3 different kills and being on 2 different cores.
It's game's looking harder and harder for Radiant, but I mean, I was thinking the same thing last game, and it ended up being what it was.
Turns out it is average luck for Roshan. So if we're possibly, you alluded to the last game, I don't think we're getting to 6 Roshans this time, but we are up to the 2 Roshans.
Yeah, so if it spawns at like 31 minutes, then like at absolutely best, it would be 4 times 8, right?
Yeah,
is-
I mean, assuming you can literally kill Roshan in about 1 second, then yeah.
Yeah, it spawns instantly. You also evaporate Roshan instantly. It's like 62 minutes, so yeah.
We probably should throw in an average of 15 seconds to kill Roshan as well to be 63 minutes, I guess, but we went longer last game, so we have 50 minutes to spare.
Yeah. KU, I do think it's important to note that this game, he's not griefing on Dragon Knight. He's playing a hero that he can carry the game on, and I think he's probably one of the better players in Lads to like actually close out a game with the timing.
Definitely a little bit different for him doing that from the middle lane rather than from the carrier role, but Templar Assassin is a carry hero in all but name.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
the same shit mostly. I think you get some extra XP. It's nice.
Even nowadays, back in the day you used to see TA mid, but nowadays you see the majority of TA games played from the safe lane, so it's literally a carry hero being played mid now.
Yeah. This carry hero being played mid meme, as long as the carry hero has a good matchup, I think has always been pretty strong. What, that works? What the fuck? Holy shit, wait, that's really cool. I just learned something new from Kobe. Roshan does creep damage to
Phantom's Embrace?
yeah, to Phantom's Embrace. And so it was just tanking Roshan for them. That's sick. I know it works like that for Weaver. And I know like Mace and well no. I know it works like that for Weaver, but people try to generally tank for the bug because they don't want the bug to die because it provides a lot of minus armor. Even still, it's pretty interesting though. I'll have to use that.
He's kind of in danger right now, but he actually got away from the dire side smoke glimpse. Will bring KU away from the action, and well, that's actually a very fortunate escape from Soundproof. If he gets caught there after BKB on cooldown, and if he dies at the buyback, you definitely don't want to use. But now both will be up.
Yeah, this god is going to be super important for Soundproof. It's slow through the BKB of TA and Bloodseeker, which is going to be a really big deal. And then as well, just being able to slow these big tanky strength cores is always nice. So it's got like this pickup is just perfect for this game. Also, it's like a core item on Monkey King. I'd go as far as to say it just synergizes really nicely with the Wukong's command.
Rupture
He's ruptured.
is on Soundproof. I don't think he's going to die here, but Pugnal Ward actually is still alive. It's 1 hit away from dying. CK is BK, but the Pugnal Ward will actually naturally expire. So now KU returns with the Aegis in hands to the T3 tower. He's imprisoned by Tano, Leipnir, and Blood Rage Silence. He's forced away by his teammate, not, I think, correction, actually has teammate. In comes Chaos Bolt on KU. KU will Hurricane Pike the CK away. Morskis are actually zoning Pugna away from the fights. Now it's KU again taking that damage from the Snapfire. Soundproof will BKB bounce right there on 3 glimpses there on Keita. Keita is not long for life. He'll attempt to fight the Firestorm, will not do too much. Now KU, massive damage, bringing down Mr. Steel Yoke spells. He wants more, heading for Soundproof with a very fast Jorik Bloodseeker. Jorik goes under Tier Force again. Soundproof is a 2-man bounce right now. Hammer dropped by OD. Jorik dies, as does the first life of Templar Assassin, perhaps again. Sus may have overextended. KU BKBs, linking in for CK. CK will die. KU TPs away
Okay.
with that 6-second BKB. Kobe will try as well, but he will not be successful. He's glimpsed back by Dr. Epic, and he will die under the shadow of that range Rax middle lane. So, Radiance, it's a relatively costly defense, but all of their barracks are still intact.
Yeah, it's a little bit unfortunate, but you didn't have to use any of your major buy. Wait, hold on. I wanted to make sure. Yeah, you don't have to use any buybacks. You lose a tier 3 tower, but you're definitely content with that, dealing the Aegis timing that Dire was definitely hoping to get like a Rax off of at least. So
I guess
you
they
don't
only
get
got a
that.
tier 3, actually. Yeah, they only got a tier. I misspoke when I said costly. That was barely costly.
Monkey King's progression isn't getting delayed. They didn't get the TA kill, which they probably was. Holy shit! Wait, what? Do this?
This is an interesting fight. Soundproof engaged on Pugna. Little did he
They
know
both
Templar
miss.
Assassin was baiting. Everyone misspells BKB.
Oh no!
There's TP,
Soundproof.
but Soundproof,
No,
I think he's
has
dead. Balancing lit on too, but he cannot treat it. He's just
my
dead.
God. I think that both the teams made a lot of mistakes there, but Soundproof definitely could have lived in his position. That's kind of a big deal though, because he bought out for the Scotty, so he doesn't have buy. Mr. Celio spells is getting owned by TA traps.
It's definitely
Sock
not
trap.
a good death. You're right.
Yeah. Silent Trap is a like extremely underhanded spell. This is actually one of the most bullshit spells in the game. It's up there with Chaos Bolt, I think, and it's been consistently bullshit.
Speaking of Chaos Bolt, it will be on KU for 3-second stun. This time there is no Edis, but he's actually glimpsed away from the Static Storm. Rough execution there for WeLostThis, possibly saving KU with their own spell usage, and now he's still full HP. Has BKB up once again, and well, no Monkey King, no Phantasm, no Static Storm, no Mortimer's Kisses, and you're fighting down here. It's going to be a very hard defense, and KU knows that. He's hitting barracks. KU blinks in for Tunnel, Soulbind is there on 2, of course. OD and Disruptor. Beater Hammer. It's missed by Tunnel this time. Now KU goes in, hitting CK and Disruptor. Disruptor dead. CK dead. OD also dead. That's 3 kills for Sus. We see 2 buybacks from CK, 1 from Disruptor. Glimpses on Keita, but Keita's a very tanky Underlord. KU, Blink, Meldstrike, destroys Snapfire. Now heading for CK. CK is half HP. Rooted by both Blightbeer and the Underlord Pit. Soundproof will use the Lungs Mantis' own Dire away from the tier 4s. Dire will now back away. Glimpse will be on the KU Templar Assassin. They again blinks away. They could not break the refraction. Snapfire buys back, CK engages, but Gleipnir will ensure Dire. Actually, they choose to still fight. TA wants to fight once again, but this time, Static Storm there on Templar Assassin. Her BKB is on cooldown. Her refraction is gone, but can they kill her? The damage is not enough. KU gets 2 more kills. Now, it's Snapfire on the run. Blinking by KU. 3 more kills for Templar Assassin, and a GG is called.
That fight was a little bit. The fight 2 fights ago was a little bit sus, but Dire played pretty solidly this game overall. KU especially. 21-12 performance on TA. Not bad at all.
It is, Sus now moved to 4-0. So a very similar start to their season as they have had for the last, like, 6 seasons of lads. So this just seems to be what happens with this core of players, and I guess they haven't necessarily faced like the huge contenders quite yet, but it's certainly a very promising start, even though they've both role swapped and player swapped.
True. I mean, I was expecting the games to be more one-sided than this, though. I will say, I think these games were Radiant definitely had like a decent bit of chances to win both of these games. I'm pretty impressed with that.
I hope they can at least say, all right, we played close games, because even though they're not doing that well scoreboard wise, they're now going to be 0-4. They had a very close series against one of the better teams, so they can at least walk away and say, well, we played a good series, and hopefully we can improve upon the unforced errors we had, and hope to make a run later on.
Sure. Yeah, I mean they're a 0-4, but they looked pretty decent. So shouldn't feel too bad. I think.
KU. I think KU sensed us flaming him game one, and then he's just like, all right, minute like 10 onwards, he just online demolishing the Dota game. Look at that, the player net worth graph. There's one line, a complete outlier, and it's KU Templar Assassin.
He did get his shit rocked in the mid lane, though. I will say he did get pretty owned. He started jungling at like level 5.
What can you do?
Still, yeah, I mean, landing's only one part of the game. Still played pretty well aside from that. Even when his team was throwing, he still was like BKB killed the CK and then TP'd out, which was probably a good decision. Yeah, I think that was definitely one of the better options he had there.
All right, Logical, you know the drill at this point. Do you have any more analysis for us here?
Dara looked a lot cleaner when they didn't have foreplay on their team, so I think that's pretty easy to isolate the problem.
I don't think you're helping the beef.
I mean, it's I don't think foreplay will care about that. He knows I'm not serious.
Thank you, Logical. Do you have any final words, call outs, shout outs to say to the people of League of Lads and twitch.tv/Patrick Pablo?
Well, you know, Badger, I like to keep my expectations low for lads games, but this game's pretty good overall. There's some cool stuff. There's something that I'm going to test even after this game ends that I learned from this game from Kobe. I want to go see how Phantom's Embrace works on Roshan, but anyways, this game I was impressed by it, so I'm happy to have casted it.
All right, we are going to wrap it up now. Thank you for watching this 2-0 victory for Sus over WeLostThis. My name is Badger. If you want me to cast your games, cast your tournaments. If you want me and Logical to get hired for your pro tournament, especially if you're a DPC organizer, contact me on Twitter, twitter.com/BadgerDota2, or on Discord, Badger5713. We'll be back at some point, I'm sure. Don't know where, don't know when, but I assure you we'll be back again. And when that day comes, I assure you we'll be rocking and ready to go. For now, though, thank you for watching, and as always, have great nights.
You can solo Roche with Grimstroke.
Very cool.